And a good Monday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Anthony Gargano will be back tomorrow from his holiday vacation. So you got me, the Chunas, in until 2 o'clock. Connor Thomas will be producing the show, working double time after being the meteorologist this morning on the John Kincaid Show, hanging out outside and watching the lack of snow that was falling in at least Ballard Kinwood. I know it's falling down the shore. My mom's office actually closed today, so there's enough snow down the shore to make closings happen, but there's nothing going on in the Philadelphia area. But screw the snow, man. Forget about it. You know what we get to talk about today? We get to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles making the playoffs. A team that I thought would win 6 games max. Not, hey, my prediction is 6-11, but I could see them winning 7 or 8 games. No, I thought 6 games would be the maximum amount of wins that the Eagles had this year, and that's not the case. The Eagles are going to the playoffs. They're 9-7. They take care of business against the divisional opponents that they have faced in recent weeks. The Washington football team twice, the New York Giants in the second game after a very disappointing loss on November the 28th when they lost to the Giants after turning the ball over 4 times. But the Giants only scored 13 points. But forget about it. The Eagles, 9-7 right now with a game left to be played. It was flexed to Saturday night, so the Eagles no longer playing Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Cowboys. They'll be playing Saturday night. And whether they want to play their starters or not, all I know is we're going to have our feet up because the Eagles are in the playoffs. And we're going to find out what seed. Are they the 7th seed? Are they the 6th seed? Are they playing Dallas? Are they playing Tampa? Are they playing the Rams? Are they playing the Cardinals? We'll find out all these things next Saturday and Sunday. But what I want to do today is celebrate because I think people still, it hasn't hit them yet. Like, this has been such a wild ride. They were 2-5 at one point, and they were 2-5 as expected. It's not like they were a team that we thought would win 10, 11, 12 games this year. I thought they'd win 6. Connor, you were where? 7, 8 this year?
I was 6 as well.
6 as well. I know that there were Eagles fans out there that said they would win 10, 11 games. I don't buy it. Like, I can't believe that there were people that actually thought going into the season that they would win 10 or 11 games. I know my man, the Fink, had them winning 9 games, and I thought he was crazy. But they got the wins. They got to 9 wins. So I'm sitting here today going, I still can't believe that you actually thought they'd win 10 or 11 games, but they're 1 win away from 10. They could very well finish with 10. So they start the season 2-5, and to me, that's how I expected it. I thought they would start the season 2-5, and I thought they'd finish 6-11. But no, all of a sudden they go 7-2 in their next 9 games, which to me is just crazy. And it starts with the game against the Lions, and admittedly, I did not think that win meant anything. I'm here every week during the post-game show. I was here last night till 8 o'clock reacting to the Eagles winning the game over the Washington football team. We still did not know yet whether or not they'd make the playoffs. We had to find out what would happen in the 49ers game, what would happen in the Saints game, what would happen in the Packers game, and everything went out perfectly for them, which is why they're in the playoffs. We were able to toast that last night. But when I was watching the game last night, I'm like, man, I can't believe they're actually here. And I started looking back at everything that happened. And I saw that win against the Lions, and I remember being on here, and Jamie was off that day for the post-game show, and I was kind of like, yeah, you know, this was fun. Like, it was a fun game, but it was the Lions. So it wasn't, to me, a real, like, hey, they won 44-6. That's awesome. But it meant nothing to me. That 2-5 record becomes 3-5, and I go, all right, watch, they're going to lose next week to the Chargers. And sure enough, they do. And it wasn't pretty. It was a close game, but don't forget, Justin Herbert completed 84% of his passes that day. And I said, see, this is what I was talking about. This is why I didn't get excited after that win against the Lions. They're now 3-6, and I think it was going to go downhill after that. But then they win in Denver. And I was there with Philly Sports Trips hanging out. And it was an impressive win. Like, Jalen Hurts had his best half of his career against the Broncos that day, and they win 30-13. Like, they win handedly on the road in Denver, which is not an easy place to play. And then they beat the Saints. And I remember saying that they would beat the Saints because Trevor Siemian stinks, and I would rather have Jalen Hurts than Trevor Siemian. And then when they lost to the Giants on that November the 28th, I thought the season was over for about 15 minutes. And Connor, you're my witness. You were here. You do the in-game show with Tyler Zulli and Tom Alvord. You guys have done a tremendous job all season long. And I thought the season was over when they lost to the Giants. And then 15 minutes later, the Vikings lose to the Lions. and I go, hold on a second. The Minnesota Vikings just lost to the Lions, to Jared Goff and the Lions. That was the first win for the Lions, and it was a last-second victory. The touchdown happened as time expired. I'm like, wait a minute. Season's still alive, mathematically. Mathematically, the season was still alive even if the Vikings won, but there was a better chance. And then they go on the run. They beat the Jets, as we all expected. The Washington football team has a COVID outbreak, and even though they moved the game to Tuesday, which could have helped Washington, you knew they weren't losing that game, and they won. And then they beat the Giants 34-10 after being tied 3-3 at halftime. Like this, the story is so crazy that even in these games against teams where Jake Fromm's the starting quarterback, you looked terrible for the first half of the game, but then still finished with 34 points on the board, a team that I thought would win 6 games this year. So then yesterday happens, and they win 20-16. The playoffs are a lock. You're in after the Packers beat the Vikings, but there's still kind of this vibe, right? That like, should we be excited? Should we not be excited? I think we should be thrilled, and I think we should celebrate today because for me, as a guy who thought they'd win 6 games, whether they win 10 or not, whether they finish with 9, finish with 10, they're in the playoffs. I did not expect them to be playing meaningful football in the month of January. Meaningful football carried over from December of 2021 into January of 2022. Happy New Year, everyone. Like, this is a great start to the new year. In a Philadelphia where sports just kind of stinks, right? Like, you have one of the best players in the NBA in Joel Embiid, but you know this team's really not destined for greatness. The whole Ben Simmons situation is happening. We're all disappointed in Tobias Harris's play. Doc Rivers has been a disappointing coach since the playoff series against the Atlanta Hawks. So you have the best player. It's like a tease. You have one of the best players in the NBA, and yet you're probably going to fall short. You're going to be a middle-of-the-pack seed come playoff time, and you'll probably lose in the first or second round. The baseball team had the MVP, and who should have been the Cy Young and Zach Wheeler, but he comes in second because of ridiculous, numbers and FIP and all this stupid stuff. Like, just go with what your eyes see. All right, Zach Wheeler should have won Cy Young. You didn't make the playoffs. So another tease. You have the MVP and the second in Cy Young voting, and you fall short. The Flyers were red hot to start the season. Everybody's in love with Lane Vigneault. They go on a 10-game losing streak. He gets fired. Now all of a sudden they're winning games again, but it's another tease. The Eagles, this is legit, man. Legit to the extent of they're actually in the playoffs when they shouldn't have been. It was the other way, right? It's not like you have a Pro Bowl quarterback. I know he's an alternate, but let's face it, he's not a Pro Bowl quarterback. Your team isn't stacked with Pro Bowlers. There's 2. There's Jason Kelce and there's Darius Slay. 2 guys that you expect to make it, but after that, there's not a guy where you go, oh, he should be in. Lane Johnson maybe, but unfortunately he did miss some time this season, and so that's why he's not. That's probably why he's not in it. But this is a team where you look at the bones of it, and they're not that strong to me. Like, I don't go, they've been drinking 2% milk this entire time. Like, no, they're not that strong. I still don't think that there's some Super Bowl run in the next year or 2, right? Especially not this season. But the fact that they are here, when our expectations, and I say our because let's face it, the collective fan base had low expectations. Yes, there were the people that thought they'd have 10 wins, but there were also people that thought they'd only win 2 games, right? The collective fan base had them in that 5 to 7 win range. Couple of 8 people out there because they were a little bit more optimistic. But here we are, a chance for them to finish, well, they are finishing above 500, but a chance for them to have double-digit wins with their game against Dallas this Saturday. And I think we should celebrate that today at 610-632-0975. Now, I understand why it is difficult for people. Like, I do. Because you look at the standings. And you look at the schedule, and you go, wow, how are they here right now? Well, they're here because they've played Jake Fromm. They played Garrett Gilbert. They played Zach Wilson and the Jets late in the season. This winning streak really started when they beat the Lions on October 31st. But think about that. October 31st is a long time ago. So I understand that there are people that go, look at the talent that they've played. And if you watch the game yesterday, it wasn't even pretty yesterday. The offense was shut out again in the first quarter. They really didn't show much life. Even though I thought Jalen Hurts played a good first half, they didn't put up many points. They're down 2 scores at halftime. The defense is getting gashed, and it's not because of personnel. To me, it's because of the guy running the defense in Jonathan Gannon. And if I were to put my football cap on, like if I were to take a minute to put Fan Andrew aside and go football cap time, like serious football talk, I think Jonathan Gannon is a terrible defensive coordinator. And I think the Eagles are doomed because of him going into the playoffs. If Week 18 mattered and they have to play the Dallas Cowboys and it's a win-and-you're-in situation for both teams, right? Like they actually forget the standings, forget the records. Team that wins Week 18 goes to the playoffs. I would think they lose by 20 to 30 points because I think Jonathan Gannon is that bad of a defensive coordinator. And you just watched it yesterday. Taylor Heineke is picking you apart for the first half. 12 of 12 at one point. He has almost 200 yards passing at halftime. And it's because you're not getting pressure with your front four. You're not bringing any extra men. And you're playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. So what was he killing you with? He was killing you with slant routes all the time. It was just guys running underneath and then picking up 5-6 more yards after catching the football. I know I know Nick Sirianni tried backing his guy up a little bit yesterday during his post-game press conferences. Did you see some of the throws that Taylor Heineke was making? Yeah, I saw them. It was to wide open receivers. He made like one acrobatic throw in the first half, but other than that, it was, hey, this guy's wide open, boom. This guy's wide open, boom. It's not like Taylor Heineke made these ridiculous throws. It's because guys were wide open because the game plan is, all right, I know that the Philadelphia Eagles are not going to rush more than 4 guys, and I know that they're going to have guys 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. And if you have legit skill players, which the Washington football team does, but look at the other teams that they might face. Like if you're facing the Cowboys in a must-win situation, and they got guys like Cooper and Gallup and Lamb and Pollard and Elliott and all those guys, they're going to kill you if you're playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. And there's nothing to tell me that he won't do that in a meaningful game because we've seen it against the Buccaneers and against the Chargers and against quarterbacks that completed over 80% of the passes. Jonathan Gannon, to me, is a terrible defensive coordinator, and I'm begging for everyone that said he's going to be head coach in a year or two, I hope they're right because I think he's an awful defensive coordinator. But let me put fandom back on, the fan cap back on. They shouldn't be here right now, in my opinion, and they are. And that's something that I think we should really just sit back and enjoy. Forget any preseason prediction. You were wrong. I was wrong. It's okay to admit that we were wrong. Like, can we take a moment? I want everybody at 610-632-0975 to not only celebrate the season right now that is, right, with 1 week remaining before the playoffs. The Eagles are a playoff team. I want to take a moment to say, hey, I was wrong. Now, you know how I feel about Jalen Hurts. I don't think he is a franchise quarterback, and I still don't think that. I like franchise as in, Rodgers and Brady. Like when I think of franchise, I think of a top 10 quarterback. So let me say it this way. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And quite frankly, I don't think you can win without a top 10 quarterback. You're going to have your moments. Somebody called into their post-game show yesterday and said, well, I mean, Trent Dilfer won. Yeah, that was in 2000. All right, that was 22 years ago now. And they had Ed Reed. They had Ray Lewis. They had other Hall of Famers on that team. It's arguably one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL. It's either the 2000 Ravens or the 1985 Bears. You make your pick. So, yeah, there are times where the best quarterback doesn't win. Nick Foles won a damn Super Bowl for crying out loud against Tom Brady. Jimmy Garoppolo got to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Now
Rex Grossman was in one.
Rex Grossman was in a Super Bowl. But what happened? He ended up losing, right, to a far superior quarterback.
Exactly.
So I look at it and I go, all right, is Jalen Hurts a guy for me that's going to win 11, 12 games because of his talent, not because of the defense around him? I mean, it's going to take some time to build the defense. They have 3 first-round picks. Those first-rounders, if they're all defensive players, they're not going to be elite in year one. You could get one, like a Micah Parsons, right? He's elite in year one for the Dallas Cowboys. You might be able to get one elite guy right away. The other 2 might need to take some time to get better in the NFL. So I look at this and I go, all right, do I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? No. But I also thought that they'd win 6 games because of the quarterback play. He has proven me wrong that he's not going to hurt you in games. He throws the ball away, which is something that Carson Wentz never did. He doesn't turn the ball over on his own stupid mistakes. He did 2 weeks ago when he tripped over Jordan Mailata, fumbled the ball because he's holding the ball out here. But that was like a fluke kind of deal. For the most part, Jalen Hurts is proving that he can win football games in the NFL. I have always said that he can be a starter on a bad team, or he could be a backup to a good team, and if your quarterback goes down, he can win you 2 or 3 games in a 4 or 5 week stretch. Like, I do believe that he belongs in the NFL. I don't think he's an AFL quarterback. I don't think he's an Arena League football quarterback. I don't think he's a Canadian Football League. Like, I think he is an NFL quarterback. I just don't think that he's this 10-year starter for a specific team that's going to make multiple runs in the playoffs. But I'll admit that I was wrong, that he's been better than what I expected. I was not wrong on Nick Sirianni. I was not one of those guys that heard his introductory press conference and wanted him fired, right? I was not one of those guys. Did I poke fun at the flower speech? I did. Like, I thought that was completely ridiculous. But I wasn't somebody that wanted him fired during his introductory press conference when there were people here that wanted him fired during the introductory press conference because of the way he sounded. Jonathan Gannon, I will stand by it. I don't think he's made adjustments, and that's why you're at this position, right? But I was wrong about the defensive talent. I was wrong about the offensive line. I thought the offensive line was great. I thought they were elite, but I didn't think they'd be so good that you could be the leading rushing team in the NFL 200 yards a game. I didn't expect any of these things. So I want us to also take a moment to sit back and go, hey, I was wrong about this. It's all okay. I heard John Kincaid at the end of the show, the John Kincaid show. He was listening to the postgame show, and I appreciate him doing that. And I was kind of saying this yesterday. It is okay to celebrate a football team, even though it wasn't pretty. Connor Thomas, he's in today. Connor, you've been doing in-game all season long. Obviously, you're watching the game regardless of whether you're on the air or not.
Right.
But it was ugly yesterday. It was ugly all season long. But they're here. Yeah. And they made the playoffs. And they weren't a 12-win team that we expected to win 12 games that only won 9. They were a team that you and I both expected to win 6, and they could potentially win 10. So why don't we just celebrate that, man?
I have no idea why you're not waking up this morning as a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, just psyched out of your mind for the opportunity this team has in front of them. It doesn't compute with me. I know these people exist. I know, and I know we're going to hear from some of them undoubtedly throughout the day, the week, even next week as we wait for them to match up with whoever they're going to in the wild card round of the NFC playoffs. But it doesn't compute with me because this team is playing with house money. What
Yes.
we came into this season with was hopes of close enough to 500 that when December rolls around, we're not sitting here thinking, oh, what are the Flyers and Sixers doing only?
Right.
Like, we wanted this team to be exciting enough that they would just play meaningful games in December.
Yes.
Much less in January, much less clinching a playoff berth before the final week of the season, much less potentially facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending Super Bowl champions, with a chance to send them home and end their season. Like, this is incredible. And the only thing I can attribute it to, it kind of feels like a fever dream. You said it at the very start of your opening there, of like, it's crazy to think we're here. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting in Las Vegas, in that stadium, after they lose that game to the Raiders, watching all the fans pour out of that building. Like, what in the hell is going on with this team? Like, the season's over. This coach stinks. This defense stinks. This quarterback stinks. This whole organization is falling apart still. This rebuild's going to be a decade. And
At one point, I said it's not even a rebuild season. I thought it was going to be another teardown.
They haven't even started the rebuild yet. I remember. And now we're here to the point where they have already clinched a playoff berth. They could possibly be a 10-win team. But either way, they've already clinched an above 500 record. It's incredible that we're here. And taking this for granted, especially like you laid out, with the landscape of Philadelphia sports right now, it would be a travesty. So let's not do it.
Let's not take it for granted. Let's have a good time with this team, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you right now. I'll whisper it. They probably lose in round 1 of the playoffs.
Don't you dare.
They're probably going to lose in the first round.
You hold your tongue.
But hey, they made it to the playoffs when they shouldn't have. In my opinion, they shouldn't have. And here we are celebrating a 9-7 team, and I can't wait. I can't wait to watch Eagles-Cowboys in Week 18, and then I can't wait to watch whoever the Eagles play in the first round of the playoffs. We should just celebrate that today at 610-632-0975. It is a Football Monday. Football Mondays on The Fanatic are brought to us by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopayBryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, we shouldn't enjoy it because of the teams they faced. Like, they beat the teams that were in front of them. I know that's like an old thing to say, right? Oh, they beat who they were facing. Well, here's the deal. That's how the players are looking at it. You heard the Jason Kelce speech. I mentioned this last night during the postgame show. Do you think Jason Kelce cares that they beat Garrett Gilbert a few weeks ago?
No,
he cares that they won the football game and continued the season. Do you think he cares that they came from behind in an ugly way yesterday? Like, oh, it was an ugly game yesterday?
Not remotely.
No, the way he's probably looking at it and the other players in that locker room is, hey, we just won an in-division game against a team that we just played 13 days ago because of the weird COVID stuff, right? It was a Tuesday night that we had to play them. It's only been 13 days since we played them last. And, that win may have put us in the playoffs. That's how they're looking at it. And that's why he made that speech. It doesn't matter what they're saying about us on the outside. Like, he's right.
Yeah, he is. And to all the people who are also thinking, and very rightfully so, thinking what you just whispered into your microphone about the potential first-round playoff matchup and what they could be doing there. Remember what happened with the Washington football team 13 days ago? Or, like, any team at any point could have positive tests. We're still in the middle of a pandemic that's raging on throughout all sports. What happens when Tom Brady potentially tests positive the day before they play him in the first round? Like, sure, they're going to be undermanned against pretty much any team they face in the playoffs at face value. But it's a weird year, man. There's so much changing. This has been the most parity I think we've ever seen in an NFL season in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So why not get in the dance and see what the hell happens?
That's what I'm saying, man. Why not? Even though I think they lose in round one. But who cares, man? They're here. They're in the playoffs when I thought they were going to win 6 games. 610-632-0975. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back tomorrow right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
And Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Joel for 3. It's good. And Bede pours in a triple.
Sixers, Rockets, tonight at 7. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by Corona, proud sponsor of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is licensed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Banking. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day. Sun is shining, birds singing. You're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Esporta Fitness is a new sports club with premium fitness amenities starting at just $9.99 a month. A personal fitness journey should never be compromised, and Esporta Fitness gives you access to a workout community that will push you and state-of-the-art amenities to inspire you, all for a super low price. Get a free 3-day pass to an Esporta Fitness near you at welcometoesportafitness.com. That's welcometoesportafitness.com. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 a month. Start today.
Shop Mattress Firm's year-end sale and put an end to junk sleep. Save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $4.99 value. Or shop top-selling brands and get up to 50% off select mattresses, like Sealy twin mattresses starting at $224.99 or Serta twin mattresses at $349.99. And shop with confidence thanks to our low price guarantee. Only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, Philly, it's Jamie Lynch. If you bet on Michigan to win the college football championship, Prop Swappers want your sports bet. Michigan was 100-1, and now they're just 2 ways away from winning it all. Prop Swap has thousands of buyers waiting to buy all your sports bets, and they're paying big money. Maybe you have a 100-1 Cincinnati ticket, or in the pros, how about New England? Yet another team who started at 100-1 odds this season. All these teams are selling for huge money on PropSwap right now. So cash in right now. Visit PropSwap.com and download the free PropSwap app.
Hammering headaches? Ow. Aching muscles? Put the squeeze on your tough pain with Goody's Cool Orange. The same fast-acting, powerful Goody's powder in a great-tasting Cool Orange flavor. Beat tough pain to a pulp with Goody's Cool Orange. Also, blast your pain away with Goody's Mixed Fruit Blast. 2 flavors, tough on pain, tasty on your tongue. We made Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. All available at Walmart.
You are an electric vehicle. It's true. Electricity powers your heart. Want to feel your heartbeat faster? Drive an electric car. Made by Nissan, a company whose EVs have gone 5 billion miles. Built for every driveway, every highway, and every speedway. And where the loudest sound is the beat of your electric heart. Nissan. Electric cars for electric drivers. 5 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
$10:28, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Saltunis filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back tomorrow morning from his holiday vacation. So we'll be back tomorrow, 10 o'clock hour, brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Now, Connor Thomas is sitting in my chair. Connor, I need some insight here.
What's up?
We're about to get to the phones at 610-632-0975. I'm fired up, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was clear.
Yeah, you just did about 15 minutes of telling people to be excited. Why shouldn't we be excited? This is an awesome opportunity.
And then I put on the football cap for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I think I still don't like Jonathan Gannon. I don't. And I didn't think he had a good game plan yesterday either. The front four. So a lot of people were going to say he made adjustments in the second half. No, it was Josh Sweat had an incredible second half, which helped the Eagles create pressure on Taylor Heineke.
And that's what happened against the Giants with Fletcher Cox.
Yes. I don't think he made these crazy adjustments because you still saw the corners playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. So I don't like Jonathan Gannon. I don't think that's being negative. I don't like him. I think that there are better defensive coordinators out there so that in a year or two, when you use these 3 first-round draft picks on defensive players, maybe you bring in a legit defensive coordinator that really makes these guys play to the next level.
Yeah, listen, the Eagles gave up like 500 yards in the Super Bowl. Not liking the defensive coordinators, not being out on the whole team.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, exactly. Jalen Hurts, I just told you I was wrong. I thought they were going to win 6 games because of the quarterback play as well. They won 9 games because he played better than I expected. I don't think he's Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Tom Brady. Like, I don't think he's Josh Allen. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's a quarterback that's going to play smart. He's going to win you games. He's a quarterback that I know his threat to run, helps you out offensively. My biggest concern is when you're not playing Garrett Gilbert and you have to try to put up 30 points in a win, are you able to do that? And you can't be down 10-0 like you were yesterday. I thought I came off pretty excited.
Yeah.
According to our YouTube chat, I'm being negative. According to one guy on YouTube, I said that making the playoffs is a bad thing. Did I say that? We might have to replay the entire first segment. Apparently, the words "making the playoffs is a bad thing" came out of my mouth. If you've listened to this show for the last 6 weeks, I was the only one saying to make the playoffs. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I don't remember you saying anything close to that.
So, I'm really confused by what's going on our YouTube chat. I wonder when I go to the phones if that's going to be the same thought that I'm apparently, like somebody said, I'm the prototypical Negadelphian. Hold on a second.
How dare you be excited about them making the playoffs?
When did I?
So negative, Andrew.
Like, if I'm being real, I look at the teams that they've played in recent weeks and the quarterbacks that they've played in recent weeks. I mean, Jake Fromm started against the Eagles a few weeks ago. Am I not allowed to say that?
No.
In the same breath where I said, hey, but you know what? They beat the teams in front of them, which got them to the playoffs.
That's perfectly realistic. That's like what we're looking at. We don't know what they're going to look like in the playoffs yet because they haven't played a good team with a good quarterback in like a month and a half. That's all just realistic.
Yeah.
It's not saying they can't win, and you're saying they probably won't, and I think that's fair looking at their competition. I don't necessarily agree with you because we got to wait and see what that's going to look like.
I got you, yeah.
But you're not being negative. You're being realistic, and you're also being excited.
Yeah, I'm just confused, man. That's all. All right, well, let's go to the phones at 610-632-0975 on a day where I think we should celebrate. Because I still saw tweets last night. Not me tweeting out. I saw tweets last night that Eagles reporters were in response to. Well, they only beat these teams. And then, I looked at the person's profile, and, the bio said, Eagles fan, 4 for 4. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. Why are you Eagles fan 4 for 4, but you're trying to downgrade the fact they made the playoffs? They're in the playoffs. It's not like, hey, we need to see what happens week 18 against the Dallas Cowboys team that's better than the teams that they've faced in recent weeks. No, they're in. The Philadelphia Eagles are in the playoffs. And that's something that we should celebrate.
Completely agree.
I'm confused, man. Let's go to Kenny, Northeast Philly. Kenny, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Kenny?
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, man.
Breaking it down, I heard the conflict in you. It was good, and I didn't know. Listen, the problem with J-Ro said it, man. If you're going to be a fan, be a fan. You can't be a fan and say, oh, man, we play corny. Listen, I'm happy we in the playoffs. I can see how Jalen Hurts responds to pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's another step in the process, but I'm not with the fan-alytics. We don't have to be the smartest fans in the world, but we try to show that.
Yes.
A smart person doesn't walk around and say, yo, I'm smart. You can just tell he's smart by the way he acts. Just be a fan sometimes, man. We don't have to be fan-alytics. I love it. But after the game, post-game on CSS sounded like we lost. They would break. Oh, we didn't run enough, and I said, "Yo, we in the playoff." Well, we did our part. Yo, listen, I'm happy, and I believe, we gonna shock some people. We gonna shock because we can do one thing. We can run.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see come playoff time, depending on who they're facing. You can obviously, with your offensive line, you can win the time possession battle and all this kind of stuff. And there's the thoughts of, I don't want to give Tom Brady too many possessions with the ball in his hand or the other top quarterbacks that you're going to be facing. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Come playoff time, the week leading up to the playoff game, I really hope there's not an Eagles fan that goes, yeah, they're going to lose. No, I want even if you do feel that way, I want you to at least get up for it because you're playing, as Connor said it, and I said it last week, you're playing with house money. You might as well have a good time with it.
Yo, listen, house money. Everything was... I was one of the guys who said, listen, I take how we go. But if I had to make a pick, we're just going to be a bad year. We don't got nobody. And that's why the prediction doesn't know, because the ebb and flows of the NFL is what gravitates everybody's gravitated to it. It could be a nobody one year, the next year, like the Bengals. They was the last place of their division. They the top now.
Well, yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow getting hurt probably added to that, Kenny, and I appreciate the call, but here's the other thing. He mentions the ebbs and flows, and I said in the first segment, they did start the season 2-5. Like, it was going the way we all kind of expected it, except for the people that thought they would win 10, 11 games. And I was like, all right, this is kind of how it is. Now, I remember before the season started, and I remember you and I were hanging out. We were at the great JD's in Manayunk, you and I, sipping some beers. And I think I said it to you. I think the Eagles season, with a 6-win, like I thought they would win 6 games, but I thought they'd be like the Panthers from last year, where they were in it like every single game. They just ended up losing because they weren't the better team, right? So I didn't think they'd get blown out every single week. When they were 2-5, they were getting blown out in games. Even though the scores may not have said that, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers score said that it was closer, but it was a garbage time touchdown. They got the 2-point conversion late.
Same with the Chiefs game.
Yeah, like if you just watch the game, you realize that they were outclassed in those games. So the first 7 weeks of the season, it was kind of playing out as expected record-wise, but worse, because I didn't think that they would be getting blown out in those games. And then all of a sudden, it clicked. Nick Sirianni goes, hey, I'm going to run the ball more. Because here's the other thing. When they were 2-5, I know there were still some Eagles fans holding on to playoff hopes because of the schedule. I was like, no, because he ran the ball 3 times against the Cowboys. Like, they ran the ball 3 times with Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. It's not going to turn around. But credit to Nick Sirianni, because most coaches don't change. I keep on using the example of Chip Kelly. How many times did we say, hey, Chip's got to slow down because the defense is gassed come the fourth quarter? And the fourth quarter in week 1 is a lot different than in week 6, week 10, week 16, in games that you need to win. Remember, they were 10-6 the second year. They just missed the playoffs. The defense was gassed late in games, and he refused to change his scheme. Nick Sirianni said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't drop back to pass 40 times. Maybe I should use this offensive line, the strength that it is, and let's run the football. We do have a pretty good running back in Miles Sanders, the threat for Jalen Hurts with his legs. Maybe we should run the ball more. And to give him credit, they went 7-2 since he changed.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge, and it's rare that you see a coach make. Sometimes you don't see coaches make a single adjustment. There might be a basketball coach in the general vicinity that some people have that argument about, but that's another conversation. But not only did Nick Sirianni make adjustments, he made a complete 180 from throwing 40 times a game to running more than any other team in the NFL and more than any other team in the NFL has for years. And it's crazy. Like, here's the thing, and it's part of the realistic conversation that we were trying to have in that first segment, and maybe people thought it was negative somehow. I don't understand it, but I got a tweet last night from a buddy saying, I think you owe Nick Sirianni an apology. Because I was down on Nick Sirianni when they were through the first month of the season, when they were 2-5 at the start. I don't think anyone owes Nick Sirianni an apology if you were down on him to start. They weren't running a good game plan.
No.
They weren't playing to their strengths. What we do owe him is absolutely 100% credit for recognizing his faults and turning it around. Was the learning curve slow? Yeah. And that's why that 2-5 start happened. But he made the curve. He's past it now. He's proven
and he deserves credit.
This league. Yes. So you don't have to go back and apologize.
No.
We were right when they were 2-5.
Yes.
And now he's proven that he can grow beyond what he was at that point, and the team has done the same thing.
Yeah, he deserved a ton of credit. A ton of credit. No apologies, but credit. And
exactly.
I mean, it is crazy, again, to just think about it for a second. Like, close your eyes and think that the Eagles were 2-5 at one point this season. And they've gone 7-2 in their last 9 games. And it's the same team that went 2-5. Now, the changes were, like you just mentioned, going to a heavy run game. For some reason, not having Jordan Howard on the team to start the year. And then they pull him off the practice squad and look at how much of an impact he's made. because it's a different monster when it's Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard as opposed to Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, and Boston Scott. Like, it's a different monster. Your third and shorts turn into, for the most part, first downs. Let's just hope that stinger gets better. That's all. All right, let's go back to the phones. Herb in Philly. Herb, you're on the Fanatic.
How you doing, sir?
What's up, Herb?
All right. Happy New Year's to you guys.
You too, man.
Callers.
Oh, thanks for calling. Don't call me sir. I'm a child, man. Call me Andrew, man. I'm a child.
Okay, Andrew. Listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you raw, and I'm gonna give it to you honestly.
Okay.
When I heard it was Nick Sirianni, I said, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just from that, I said, "I hope we be competitive. I hope we be competitive. If we get the wild card, it's gravy." Okay.
Yep.
And then they started talking about Deshaun Watson, and I was like, "Wow, okay." Deshaun Hurts, I take Deshaun any draft pick any day. Okay. And like you said, the first 7 games, I didn't know who we were. I was like, well, this guy don't want to run the ball. What's going on? Oh, I'm just going to be devastated. I'm going to hit the Cowboys fans. I'm going to hit the Giants fans. I'm going to hit the Redskins fans. And I stayed the course. I said, if we don't make the playoffs, as long as we competitive, I'm fine. Wow, we in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're in the playoffs.
I feel good.
And Herb, here's the thing.
Good.
Those first 7 games, they weren't necessarily competitive. Like,
right.
the scores show it, right? Like, I'll mention it again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you lost by 6 points to. But when you watch that game, you never felt like they were actually in it.
Nah, the only game that still linger with me is the San Francisco game.
Yeah, I thought they could have won that game. Yes,
right. And I look back and I said, wow, damn, we were 7-2. Who thought we were going to go the last 9 games 7-2?
I don't think anyone. I really don't think anyone. I know that there were Eagles fans that were like, well, look at the schedule the second half, and I was like, yeah, but there's just no way. Like, honestly, I thought there was no way they would rattle off. They were 2-5. And if I told you, Herb, hey, they're going to finish with 9 or 10 wins this season, you probably would have thought I was crazy.
I didn't see it. I'm telling you, just with the coach, I was like, oh, man, I don't see. I really only see 5 games. 5 games. And now that I look at it, I mean, you look at everybody that's in the playoffs. The only team that scares me is Green Bay. I'm serious. And I say that looking at the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we continue to run the ball. Look at Tampa Bay got gassed by the Jets, Michael Carter. If he wouldn't have got that concussion, I think they win the game.
Yeah, they could have, Herb, and I appreciate the call, man. I really do. I mean, you look at the slate. Like, here's the thing, and I don't want to be negative. I don't know how I was negative at all to start the show. The Packers are a better team than the Eagles. The Rams are a better team than the Eagles. The Bucs are a better team than the Eagles. Yes, the Cowboys are a better team than the Eagles. And the Cardinals are a better team than the Eagles. And those 5 teams are ahead of you, not just record-wise, but like if you just watch the teams, you go, all right, well, I don't know if the Eagles can keep up. Now, he's right. Herb's right. The Jets almost beat the Buccaneers yesterday. But there's a guy named Tom Brady who plays quarterback for Tampa and was able to turn things around. I don't want to say I'm not afraid of any of these teams, but I will tell you, leading up to the first playoff game, I'm not going to have that tone. Like, my tone's going to be, screw it. Let's have a good time. Just like I've been saying for the last 6 weeks. When it looked like, the stars aligned for the Eagles to get to the playoffs, when you looked at the schedule ahead of the Eagles, when you looked at the way they were moving the football with the ground game, when you looked at the COVID issues that Washington was dealing with, when Daniel Jones gets hurt, you go, okay, like, things could really work out. I was called a fanboy a few weeks ago when I looked at the schedule and what was going on around the NFL, and I looked at the conference records, and I looked at the Vikings losing to the Giants, and I said, oh, they could really make the playoffs here. And I was called a fanboy for it. And I still don't think there's some like legit team. But I looked at this team and I went, all right, well, they're doing enough. The schedule stinks the rest of the way. Not that the Eagles are and it's some elite team, but they should win these games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what happened. Like, we should celebrate that.
Yeah, now, they should. Did we think they were going to? Like, you might have. I wasn't sure that they wouldn't have a slip-up along the way because, frankly...
Well, the Giants game, that was a slip-up.
Right. And even more so than that, once they had that, it's like, well, how can we expect them to now not run the table, of course? Well, at that point, we did think they were going to need to run the table because we didn't know things would fall the way they would to allow them to clinch in Week 17 as opposed to 18. No, I mean, you're right.
But 15 minutes later, after the Eagles lost to the Giants, the Vikings lost to the Lions. And I said it. Well, the season's not over. For 15 minutes, I thought the season was over because I, for the life of me, did not expect the Lions to upset the Vikings.
Shout out Dan Campbell and his kneecap-biting Warriors up there.
It's crazy, man. Oof. It is crazy. This is awesome. Let's go to B-Hawk on the cell. B-Hawk, what's going on, man?
Yo, champ, how you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, man, listen, I'm smiling from ear to ear because all I can think about is ESPN when they ripped us apart. Mm-hmm. Even though we didn't have high expectations, when they ripped us apart at the beginning of the season, and you know how they do it, 4 teams, just 4 wins, a dumpster fire, and even the Super Bowl year. Look how we always find a way green every time, cuz.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was wild. I mean, there's the one thing that's been circulating. I think it was a Pro Football Focus, which I think stands for Pro Fraudulent Football Analysis, in my opinion. They had the Eagles as a bottom 5 ranked roster before the season started. Now, I did not think it was going to be great this year, but I didn't think that they were going to be a bottom 5 team. I mean, bottom 5 is 4 or 5 wins. It's 3 wins, right? And I didn't think the Eagles would be that bad. I thought they were going to be competitive every single week.
Yeah, one thing I respect about you, bro, you call yourself, and you know, just like myself, we talk when we make a mistake, and we got to, you always keep it real.
I admit it.
And that's why I respect that, man. All of us. But guess what? We here now, and I wonder where they rate. I'm just interested to see how they place us and rank us because they'll never. We win another bowl, they'll never give us our just due.
Oh, never,
never give it.
Now, I would imagine they probably have that. Like, if I was an ESPN guy, Eagles are probably still middle of the pack, and it's just based off of the records, right? Like the Eagles are, they're the 6th seed right now in the NFC. I would have to look at the AFC records. They're probably 5th. Let's see, the best, the 5th seed for the is the Patriots. They're 10-6. So the Eagles, actually, they're the 7th seed right now somehow. They're probably 12th or 13th on a power ranking, I would imagine.
Yes, sir. And look, man, like you said, everyone across the board, we got the best sports minds on the phones and everything. Look, shout out the coach for making adjustments. Finally, we had a coach that made adjustments that listen. And I mean, just to see us going in the year we won it, we went in. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can only support this team. But the coach, gotta give a shout out to the coach. He makes adjustments and he's learned the game. And I mean, I'm like you said, I'm in it for the ride. Back to the PJs.
Yeah, man. Let's just enjoy it, dude. Let's just enjoy it. Happy New Year, Hawk. I appreciate the call, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you're playing with house money. No matter what the power rankings are or whatever the records are, whoever they face in round 1 of the playoffs, they're going to be the superior team because obviously you're a wild card team. You're playing on the road. Like, that's just the way it is. But we're still going to go, hey, screw it. Let's play the Eagles fight song and let's get fired up. Could you imagine if it's Eagles-Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs?
That'd be amazing.
Like, all the old highlights. Because I don't want to do that this week because this game doesn't really matter as much, right? But if they're playing the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs, like, we would have to do the entire, play all the load left and all the moments, the 44-6 game. Like, we would get fired up for that game. Like, it might be the greatest week of Philly radio in my life.
Yeah, we should get fired up anyway. Think about the potential matchups. Rodgers, a rematch with Brady.
Yeah.
A team in Arizona that seems like you might be able to take advantage of, who, by the way, Zach Ertz is going to come in here. You've got all that emotion. Like, this is very cool. The Rams, McVay, all this. there's so many cool matchups that could happen, and that's what happens when you earn the right to play against the best of the best in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Eagles have done that. Despite their flaws, we should be excited about this.
That's all I've been trying to say from the very beginning, from 6 weeks ago, when I thought that it could work out where they got to the playoffs, and I was going to root for meaningful football in December and January. And if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have been shocked, right? Because I still remember before the season started, the conversation of, well, the Eagles should beat the Jets, and I said it out loud. It's not like the Eagles are much better than the Jets. But as the season played on, the Eagles were better than the Jets, as we clearly saw. And like B-Hawk mentions that I keep it real. When I'm wrong about something, I admit it. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be listen, he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars, Colin Cowherd. I'm not. Here I am. I'm not on FS1 making. I mean, he's taking videos of himself at his house. It's a mansion. Like, Colin Cowherd is a rich man. But Colin Cowherd will say one thing one week and say the next thing the next week and not even say, I was wrong about this. Like, if Carson Wentz was an elite quarterback this year, remember he ripped him for wearing a backwards hat?
Oh, yeah. Can't be the franchise QB with a backwards hat.
If he was elite this year, for a fact, he would have been like, well, I always knew that Carson Wentz was going to be good. I always knew, Joy. I did. Like, he would say that stuff, and it would piss me off because he'd still be making millions of dollars doing it. Whatever. 610-632-0975. But here's the other thing. Then I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Our man Mob Deep Fan Hawk, so not B-Hawk who just called in. This is Mob Deep Fan Hawk. He's like, great. We can beat scrub teams. Why is that your mentality today? You're right. Like, you're not wrong that the Eagles haven't beaten a top team in the NFL really this year. Like, they haven't. Like, the Broncos, when we look back at it, it was a good win. But it's not like the Broncos are 11-5. You know what I mean? The Broncos are 7-9. So I get what you're saying, but that shouldn't be your mentality. It shouldn't be. Because here we go. They might lose by 40 in round one of the playoffs. But they got to the playoffs, and that's exciting to me. I saw that Nick Sirianni grew as a head coach. Right? We saw him grow.
Yeah.
I saw Jalen Hurts grow as a quarterback. He made throws yesterday down the field, keeping his eyes down the field, which he wasn't doing 3 weeks ago. 3-4 weeks ago, when he felt pressure, it was tuck and run every time. That throw to Greg Ward yesterday, where he even talked about it, they didn't even get a play down. Right? That's how smart.
He called it himself.
He's a smart football player. But that was a play breakdown, and he kept his eyes downfield. He wasn't doing that 4 weeks ago. So I saw Jalen Hurts grow as a better quarterback in recent weeks and this season. We should be excited about all these things, right?
Yeah, there are 18 teams that when the season ends, they're going to wish they were where the Eagles are. 18 teams are going to be out of the playoffs. Only 14 make it. You're one of those 14 teams. Let's enjoy that.
Exactly. That's what we should do. 610-632-0975, 11 o'clock hour. Coming your way, I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back tomorrow right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Football Monday on The Fanatic is brought to you by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Cooling Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system.
Whether you run your local bookstore or the neighborhood boutique that everyone loves, small businesses like yours make gift giving possible. Now, Comcast Business has a gift for you. Introducing the sale you don't want to miss, the Gift of Savings Sale. For a limited time, ask how to get a great deal for your business. You can get a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle and free installation when you buy online and switch to Comcast Business with a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. That's $650 to spend on whatever your business needs. Or if you want another way to save, you can get started with internet and advanced security for $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. So give your business the gift of savings today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Prepaid offer ends 1/3/22. Call or go online for details.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is licensed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Banking. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. That army includes an entire legal team, specialist lawyers, investigators, and a 24/7 client satisfaction staff. Just like if you were going into surgery, you wouldn't trust one person to handle the paperwork, the scheduling, the anesthesia, and the surgery. Have you ever seen a surgeon operating alone and without resources? No way. Why would you trust a small firm with your case? Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it's time to get paid, why should you wait? BetRivers Online Casino offers its players the revolutionary Rush Pay service. When you want to cash out your winnings, you don't have to wait 2 days just to get the go-ahead to withdraw your money. That's why BetRivers created Rush Pay. With Rush Pay, 80% of withdrawal requests are approved instantly. Rush Pay is just another reason to love BetRivers Online Casino. Go to betrivers.com today and play with a winner.
Presented by Rivers Casino Philadelphia. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Has this ever happened to you? My friend was telling me about his new pair of headphones, so I looked them up online. Now, everywhere I go is a creepy ad for those headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I got DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. It's that simple. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot, buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. Did we mention the part where Wendy's biscuits are hot and buttery?
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, hot and buttery.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
$10:59, just ahead of 11 o'clock right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz as we celebrate an Eagles victory, number one. Number two, an Eagles playoff berth in a year that I didn't expect it at all. Didn't even come close to expecting Eagles playoffs. And things just worked out, man. And that's why I think you should celebrate it. For anybody that's still saying, and whether it's on the phones or our YouTube chat or on social media, I saw it last night. After the Eagles clinched the playoff spot, there was people on social media last night saying, well, it doesn't matter because they didn't beat anyone. And like, yes, that is correct. Like, you're right. Right? The teams that they have beaten are not tops of their division. Like, that is true. The Falcons stink. The Panthers stink. Washington twice stinks. New York stinks. The Jets stink. Denver finishes below 500. It's a good win on the road in Denver. That's a good win. All these things are true, but to me, before the season started, Connor, I thought the Eagles were also one of those teams.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were, and 2-5 turned to 9-7. But here's the thing: that means the Eagles are better than those teams. And when I had the conversation with my neighbor, I've brought this up a few times this season. It was after the Eagles lost to the Vegas Raiders, and you were out there for that game. My neighbor, who doesn't watch sports, but she's in Philly, so she keeps up with everything. She said, "This is one of those rebuilding years, right?" And I said to her, "I don't think so. I think it's still another teardown because you had, Carson Wentz's contract still on the books. Fletcher Cox is getting a lot of money, right? Like, you're gonna have more cap space next season, but I thought you were gonna have to get rid of more players." Eric Wilson was a mess to the point where they cut him mid-season. Anthony Harris, I'm still not really the biggest Anthony Harris fan. He made a couple plays yesterday, but for the most part, I had higher expectations for Anthony Harris before he came here, and that changed a little bit. But when I was watching this season, I was like, damn, there's still a lot of things that they need to improve on, and I don't even know if it's a rebuild. Like, I didn't even think there was like the best bones here. But now all of a sudden, that 2-5 team becomes a 9-7 team, and it shows that they're at least a step further ahead of those other teams that I mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only are there good bones here, there's some muscle and tendon now that we're seeing. Like, they have the ability to, and the other thing we got to remember too, when we saw them play these better teams, the Kansas City game, the Tampa Bay game, the first Dallas game.
Yeah.
This was still the throw the ball nobody's business version of the Eagles. Now, we haven't seen them play anybody really all that good since they flipped over to running the ball a lot. But that being said, we haven't seen them run the ball like this against better teams. Now, maybe it's because you can't. Maybe it's because when you play a Tom Brady, when you play an Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have to
You got to try to go toe-to-toe, yeah.
But who's to say they can't do this?
But here's the thing. Against the next time you face Brady, which could be in the playoffs, the next time you face the Dallas Cowboys, which is next week, the question is it a legit game or not, right? Like, who's playing, who's sitting, all that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting to see if they're at least balanced, right? Like, that first game against Dallas, they ran the ball 3 times with Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. Jalen Hurts had a few runs of his own, but a lot of them were just play breakdowns, and he didn't keep his eyes downfield, so he decided to tuck and run. I don't think you can run the ball 30, 40 times against an offense like the Cowboys or the Bucs. No, but what I'm saying is, if you're 50-50, that's a lot better than where you were earlier this season.
Absolutely.
When you were, remember Nick Sirianni after the Buccaneers game said, "I never want the ratio to be 70-30 either way." He said that. "I never want the ratio to be 70-30 either way." And I was like, well, it has been. Like, every game this year. Every game's been 70-30. If you don't want it to be 70-30, then change it. Don't allow it to be 70-30. And sure enough, he changed it to, like, it was 60-40 at some point running the ball. But the Jets game was 50-50. Yesterday was more so 50-50. I don't know. I got to look at the exact play breakdown. But they didn't run the ball 50 times yesterday. It wasn't 50 design runs. So I don't know. Maybe if you're balanced with this kind of team, with the threat for Jalen Hurts to tuck and run, but then also a legit elite. I had a guy call in a few weeks ago say that Dallas Goedert isn't good. And I lost my mind. He's an elite tight end. He might not be George Kittle or Travis Kelce, but he's top 5, right? Or close to it?
Yeah, he's close to it. Now, for tight ends, elite, I got like 3 guys in that category.
Okay, fine. He's above average.
Yes.
Like, he's a very good tight end.
Yes.
And then that opens things up for Devontae Smith. And unfortunately, after that's like Jalen Reagor, because they don't really get the ball to Quez all that much.
Right.
But this ground game helps everything else out.
Yeah, and I almost don't want them to be balanced. I almost want them to just try and pound the ball because I think that might be their best chance. Like, you look at the other teams in the NFL right now that are having success. They're the only ones, the Eagles, that run the ball to this extent and have success doing it. Like, you look at the Colts. Sure, Jonathan Taylor's been amazing. They run the ball as effective as they're probably comparable to the Eagles in effectiveness, but it's one guy. The Eagles have all their running backs because of the offensive line and Jalen Hurts. I mean, the Titans may get Derrick Henry back, but that's not a guarantee. There's a very good chance, and the Colts aren't even in the playoffs yet. There's a great chance that the Eagles are the only team that can go into the playoffs with a run-centric offense, and I like the team that can do something that no other team can do. It makes them tricky to play against. Yeah. It makes them tricky to plan against. It gives a look that teams are not used to seeing. It is their superpower, and you can't just run it 70% of the time, but I almost want them to be 55, 60% run.
Oh, I'm with 60. Yeah, I'm definitely with 60. Right. I mean, you're going to have to throw the ball at times, and here's the beauty of it. With the way they've been running the football, remember, in the Dallas Cowboys game, when they ran the ball 3 times, in the second half when they were losing, right, they were down like 2 scores. They had run the ball 3 times all game. They tried to play action pass. And I remember writing down in the notebook, like, well, that was dumb. And Hurts got hit right away because they knew, like, if you'd run the ball 3 times, you're down 2 scores. Why are you doing a play action pass? You can't do that. But now, when you run the ball 60, 65% of the time, you can actually do a play action pass. And it doesn't have to be a deep shot downfield every time. How many times have we seen Dallas Goedert just streaking to the sideline, and there has been green grass, right? He dropped the one against the Washington football team that turned into the interception. There was one time where Jalen Hurts overthrew him. Yesterday, the situation was Hurts rolled to his right, had to throw the ball across field. But the play is open, right? If they make if that throw and the catch, because it's not just on Hurts, it's also on Goddard. If the play goes perfectly, that's a 30-yard gain. Because Dallas Goedert's also pretty quick, and he's a big dude. He's throwing people off him every time. Like, the plays are there. And if they're made, like, if there's a day where everything's perfect, the offense is pretty good. Because there are a lot of talented players on it.
Now, could you listen to this conversation in a vacuum and not be excited about the Eagles getting at least the chance to play in the playoffs? Like, this is why it doesn't compute for me. There are exciting things about this team, despite their obvious flaws that we've seen since the season started. Since September, October, we've known kind of what the flaws of this team are going to be. And they've even neutralized some of those that we originally thought. But I don't know how you sit at home, or you sit in your car, or you watch us on YouTube, and you listen to this, and you don't have that inkling of, like, man, they do some stuff really, really well. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to at least see them get the chance to play some of these.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, even though I think, right now they'll probably be overmatched, but I can't just say that like, oh, it's a fact. Like, no, they could come. Nick Sirianni's proven to be a pretty smart guy.
Yeah,
they could come up with a game plan that works in one of these playoff games.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with an expression real quick. This is Connor Thomas original.
Okay, like your hat.
Any given Sunday.
Wow,
anything could happen.
Wow, we're
just right off the top of the head.
That's a good one, man. All right, any given Sunday, Connor Thomas. Michael Scott. Let's go to Malik on the cell. Malik, you're on the Fanatic. Yo, Malik. Hello. All right, I'll put Malik on hold, try to get him. Let's go to Rick on the cell. Rick, you're on the Fanatic.
Gentlemen, Happy New Year.
What's up, Rick?
Real quick, first of all, this is Philadelphia. We are in the playoffs. Look at our 4 major sports when it comes to the word playoffs. In a COVID season, guys, where we've seen the Detroit Lions beat Arizona, Buffalo Bills have some of the worst losses, and New England with Mac Jones. Remember, Mac Jones can't play in the NFL.
Yeah.
This is a crazy. Do you guys realize the past 15 years, the Steelers, the Giants, the Packers, with 9-7 records, who leaked into the playoffs, were Super Bowl champions? Since 1990, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, 151 teams were 2-5 since 1990, and only 9 of those teams made the playoffs. Everything you're saying is true, and I agree with. You have nothing but positive. Let's not forget, we're the only team in the playoffs that have 3 first-round draft picks.
Amazing, isn't it?
It could be a lot worse. And you know what's funny? And the irony is, if we have to go to L.A. and Arizona they become home games because that stadium is going to be Philadelphia fans.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Dallas. I don't want to go to Tampa Bay because I don't think we could beat Tom Brady in Yugoslavia, let alone Tampa Bay. And Dallas is going to crush us in Dallas. But who cares? Here's what concerns me. Jalen Hurts, if you watch his downtime, it's when Miles Sanders seems to be on the field. I can't put a finger on it, but for some reason the offense and Hurts does not play well when Miles Sanders is in the game. Our defensive coordinator has to stop playing a too deep prevent safety.
I agree with that, the Jonathan Gannon part.
But
you're right.
Let me ask you this, guys, for the future. We have a first-round draft pick. We're talking about Russell Wilson, which is a huge mistake. We're talking about the wrong Seahawk. This team needs a player. They have a first-round draft pick. Give Miles Sanders or a second and get Metcalf. Could you imagine Metcalf running in your secondary?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. But let me ask something about the Miles Sanders thing.
Yes.
Ever since they really went rush heavy, things have gone well for the Eagles.
They have, but watch Jalen Hurts' positive plays when Sanders is on the field. It's going to sound weird. He doesn't play well. I don't know what it is. When Sanders is on the football field, this offense does not play as well. And let's not forget something, guys. We were 2-5 in the beginning of the season. Can you name 3 quarterbacks off the top of your head, starting legitimate quarterbacks this team played the last 9 games?
No, they've played some.
The schedule really came into their hands.
Yeah, it worked out, and it worked out in their favor. And here's the deal: they beat the teams in front of them. That's awesome.
What is with Sanders? He puts the ball on the carpet, and for some reason, Sanders. I don't know what it is with Hurts. He just does not look comfortable when Sanders is in the backfield. He has 3 fumbles as well and no touchdowns. How can a running back have over 800 yards?
Well, Jalen Hurts does a lot of the scores a lot of the touchdowns.
That's something else we have to stop. If we want to have a future with him, he's got to stop those runs as much as he does. But listen, it's a good time to be happy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I appreciate the call, Rick. Now, I don't really have the numbers in front of me of when Sanders is on the field, when he's not. Listen, I've been pretty honest with how I feel about Miles Sanders. I think he's a good back, but I don't think he's a top 10, top 15 running back. I don't. Now, has some, actually, if you look at the numbers, ridiculous numbers this year, like the average yards per carry. The other day, he missed, obviously he didn't play yesterday, but against the Giants, he rushed for over 100 yards. It was the first time since LaShawn McCoy in 2015 where an Eagles running back had back-to-back 100 yards rushing games. Think about that. It had been 6 years since LaShawn McCoy did it, and there have been a lot of backs, and you brought in one that was supposed to be really good in DeMarco Murray. It just didn't work with the system here. I don't know exactly what the number breakdown is when Sanders is on the field versus when he's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sanders' talent level is easily top half in the NFL, but the consistency is tough for him. Like you said, I can't really speak to the whole Jalen Hurts looks uncomfortable and the big plays when Miles Sanders is on the field are less likely. I can't speak to any of that. What I do know is he's a better running back than anyone else you have on the team. So if he's available, you got.
I really like Jordan Howard, but it's for a reason.
Exactly.
It's,
he's a roll back.
Yeah.
He's a stuff it down the middle back. He's not a give it to him first, second, third down guy. Miles Sanders could be that guy. The consistency just hasn't been there.
You just saw it yesterday. Boston Scott was your starting running back, and he averaged under 4 yards a carry.
Right.
Whereas Sanders is averaging 5.6.
It's a huge difference.
It's a total difference. All right, we got Malik back. Let's go to Malik on the cell. What's up, Malik? Yo, Malik.
Can you hear me?
Barely. Can you get closer to your phone, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There you go. What's up, man?
I want to talk about Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why y'all don't like him so much.
It's not that I don't like him so much. It's just I think there are better quarterbacks in the NFL. I do. And I think in a league where a lot of the times, like you look at the past Super Bowls, the quarterbacks that have been in the Super Bowls, it's I got to put you on hold real quick. There's a lot of other top quarterbacks in the league that I would prefer. And it's like I've said it 1,000 times. I think Jalen Hurts is smart. He dropped off. I think Jalen Hurts is smart. I think he is very safe with the football. The perfect example is you saw what happened yesterday. The coach didn't get a play in time, and he was able to come up with a play on the fly, and it was one of the biggest plays of the day to Greg Ward. But then there are flaws in his game. You want to talk about arm talent? It's there. You want to talk about missing guys downfield? It's there. Not just missing guys downfield throwing the football, but like literally there's guys streaking wide open down the field and he doesn't even look at them. But I have also said that in recent weeks, he has done a better job at keeping his eyes downfield. Instead of tucking and running for 6 yards, even though 6 yards is a positive play, there have been times where there's a guy wide open 20 yards down the field after the play breaks down, and if you hit him, it could be a touchdown. And in a game where you're playing a top quarterback like a Tom Brady, an Aaron Rodgers, a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, a Justin Herbert, you name it. You play on any of those quarterbacks that could put up, a Kyler Murray, that could put up 30 points. You're going to have to score touchdowns.
Right.
And you can't be down 10-0 every single time like you were, again, yesterday against the Washington football team. It's not that I think he's... I said it 1,000 times. He's a starting quarterback in this league. I just don't want to settle.
Yeah, see, that's the key. And that's the thing. It's not hating on him. It's not disliking him. It's not discrediting what he's doing. Let me ask you something. Can Jalen Hurts lead a football team to the playoffs?
Yes, we're saying it right now.
Obviously. Bingo. So there's two other questions on top of that. Only two that need to be answered about Jalen Hurts. Can you win a playoff game with Jalen Hurts?
And we'll find that out.
At least get some data. We can't judge it off of one game, but we'll have some data on that in 2 weeks when they face whoever they're going to face. There's only one other question above that. Can Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl for Philadelphia? And the only data we have right now is comparing him to quarterbacks that normally do win Super Bowls, who are the guys who throw 30, 35 times a game, who throw for 300 yards consistently, who lead the league in touchdown passes and put up 40. He hasn't been that guy. They haven't been able to put him in the position to be that guy. Does it mean he can't do it? No. But that's what we're seeing. That's still the reservation. But everything outside of that, we're okay with.
I love everything about the kid.
Exactly.
Everything about the kid. From buying into the culture, wearing like the Eagles gear, right? The old school jackets to the press conferences. He is clearly a leader on the football field. I mean, Jordan Mailata has spoke multiple times about how much of a leader Jalen Hurts is. Like, that's awesome. Like, there are like 9 things out of 10 that I love about Jalen Hurts. The 10th is just the superior quarterback play in the league. I don't think he's at that level. Could he be one day? We'll see. But the word is settle. We had the caller earlier. Rick said it's wrong to even bring up Russell Wilson. I don't think it is. Because the Eagles were 9-7 this year with this roster. Russell Wilson, I think, comes in, he buys you 2 more wins. And now all of a sudden you're 11-5. Now, I mean, listen, that's such a very easy way to look at it. You know, anything can happen, right? The teams they play might be better. It might not be this kind of a conference, right, where you were in the playoff race 3 weeks ago when you were below 500. Like, all these things can change. It's a very low elemental way of looking at it, but I think he steps in and he's a better quarterback. Like, Russell Wilson, I don't think it's offensive to say he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
He's a Super Bowl winner. Like,
he's a Hall of Fame. I think he's in the Hall of Fame one
yes.
day. So that's all I'm saying.
Right, and that's not against Hurts.
No, it's not.
And what you're saying is what the fan base, I think, should feel. You want the Mahomes, the Brady, the Rodgers.
Oh, well, Mahomes isn't having that great of a season.
And if those guys are available, if a top 3 guy is available, you're not going to keep a top 10 guy for a top 3 guy. I don't know that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback right now. He's top 15 in my mind. We'll see where he actually sits.
Like, he's not out of the top 40 like that one dude's list.
But realistically, if you have top 3 at a position and a top 1 becomes available, you want that guy. There's guys above Jalen Hurts right now, and not being completely ready to settle for him for the next decade is not a fault of his.
No.
It's us not being totally sure still of what his ceiling is, and I think that's fair.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are saying, Jimmy E, my man Jimmy E says, stop, Russell Wilson's not coming here. I'm not saying he is. I'm just like, if I were to make that trade, I would imagine that the Eagles are all of a sudden not a far better team, because look, they're in the playoffs right now. I just think they are an improved team.
But
and Khalil Wilson checks in. Russell Wilson's almost done. He's getting worn out over there in Seattle. That might be true. He could be cooked. And that's something that the Eagles front office would have to really dive into. Is it because of the weird situation in Seattle? It's a very strange situation there. There's been a lot of smoke with him leaving for the last 2 years now. He also does have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, right? Like, he has talented players
That's
offensively. But it's not like they're having that great of a year. He obviously missed some time. But listen, everything about Jalen Hurts I love. It's just I still have my questions when it comes to, his ability to go toe-for-toe downfield with one of these other top quarterbacks. And I love that they're in the playoffs this year, but I would also love in a couple of years to be a Super Bowl team.
That's totally fair.
I thought so.
See no issue with that.
I thought so. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff on the cell. What's up, Jeff? Or in it's either in Cleveland. Oh, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but I'm living in Cleveland.
Yep.
And when you look at the town I'm living in now, arguably with the most talented roster in the NFL, it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is, man. It really. A lot of people had the Browns going deep in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, and when in today's society, we look at box scores, Madden ratings, stats, but the one thing that this team has done since 2017 is they believe in themselves, and they have tremendous leadership.
Jason Kelce, man. I think we have it, Connor. If you can get it ready, the Jason Kelce speech that he made to the team leading up to this week is basically all you need to know.
Yeah, and when you have a culture like that, that alone as a foundation trumps everything. Roster talent, everything. There are teams that have better rosters in this organization, and we can talk about everything that they don't do well, things that they struggle, and where they can improve. But the one thing...
Look at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, I know Kirk Cousins didn't play yesterday with Sean Mannion, but you look at that offense, you look at that defense, on paper, they're supposed to be a better team than the Eagles.
Yeah.
But last year, on paper, the Eagles should not have won only 4 games. and clearly the quarterback had his own issues, which kind of led to that 4-win season.
And when you listen to the head coach and Kelce, the thing that they all talk about is they know their identity.
Yep.
They're tough, they're physical, and they're going to beat people up, and they believe in themselves. And while we could talk about everything else that they don't do well, where we can improve, you're 9-7 with 3 first-round picks to retool the roster. And remember, that doesn't mean draft picks, that you have to take players. There are always veterans available. That's how we got Jason Peters. There's other guys out there that how we can wheel and deal with one of those picks to acquire talent to put a superstar D-end on this roster or another playmaker. The opportunity for this team to continue to build and get better is right there. And I think any fan base is sitting there looking, going, 9-7 and 3
first-round picks. And by the way, 14-19 now after the losses to Indianapolis and Miami yesterday. Even if you only come away with 2 first-round picks because you package those to move up and you hold on to your 21st overall pick, if there's a guy that you love in the top 10, you could try to make that work.
Yeah, and as it relates to Jalen, yeah, he may not be a top 5 quarterback or a top 10, but you know what? He got him into the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
And if you have to roll with him next year, you could be worse off. Yeah, you could be better, but you also could be worse. And I think that that's something that, with where this team sits, what they've accomplished, with the leadership that they have in that locker room, there's a lot of intangibles that don't get talked about because of the society and stats and everything and the fancy numbers. This team believes in themselves. And with that, their toughness, and more importantly, they face adversity as good as anybody in the league.
Yeah,
anybody.
Jeff,
and that's what you need.
That's what you need, Jeff. Spot on, man. I appreciate the call, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll go through this on the other side. Like, I hate giving this guy even just his brief mention. But to what Jeff said, Jalen Hurts, he might not be a top 10 quarterback, and I don't think he is. Like, I don't think he's an elite quarterback. But like Jeff said, it could be worse. And so I have in front of me the Chris Sims top 40 list. Okay? Where if you guys didn't know, like if you didn't read this before the season started, Chris Sims did not even have Jalen Hurts on it. Top 40. And I, as a Jalen Hurts kind of doubter, thought that this was ridiculous when it came out on June the 23rd. I wonder how he feels now. You think he's thinking back and going, probably not a good list?
I don't think he cares because I think part of that list is just him putting out takes to put out takes. That's where I stand on Chris Sims in general.
I don't think so because it was about one quarterback, really. Like all is like he is Patrick Mahomes' is number one quarterback. Like that makes sense.
There's some other stuff in there if I remember the list correctly. Where it looks kind of weird, but still,
we're gonna
he's
roll
going
through
to look
it.
back on this. He should look back on it. Think, what the hell was I thinking?
We're gonna roll through it, and we're gonna kind of discuss what Jeff just said from Cleveland. It could be worse, and trust me, it could be. 610-632-0975. Mandrew South Tunis filling in for the Cuz right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
A look ahead to this week in Philly sports. Brought to you by Comcast Business. Bounce forward.
The Sixers are back on the hardwood tonight versus the Rockets. Wednesday versus the Magic. And Friday versus the Spurs. The Flyers are back on the ice Tuesday versus the Ducks. Thursday versus the Penguins. And Saturday versus the Sharks.
Comcast Business. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. Learn more at ComcastBusiness.com.
Hi, it's John Kincaid for Budget Blinds. This is our third house where the Kincaids have trusted Budget Blinds to design treatments for all of our windows. Each time, we dealt directly with the local owner, a designer, who gave us great ideas. My guy is Jeff of Budget Blinds Downingtown. Absolutely amazing. He came out, he measured the windows, he gave us great suggestions, and then followed up with quotes that night. And Budget Blinds products blew their competitors' products away. That's the great thing about working with Budget Blinds. You deal with a local business owner who helps you design your window treatments, and you get the quality, the pricing power of that national company that guarantees you 100% satisfaction. It's truly the best of both worlds. They call it the 5-year, no questions asked consumer assurance program, where they repair or replace your window treatments should something break up to 5 years. Only Budget Blinds offers you this. So go to budgetblinds.com, find your local designer owner, and have them out for a no-pressure design and quote for your home. Trust me, we love our Budget Blinds, and you're going to love working with Budget Blinds. Tell them the Kincaid sent you.
Whether you run your local bookstore or the neighborhood boutique that everyone loves, small businesses like yours make gift giving possible. Now, Comcast Business has a gift for you. Introducing the sale you don't want to miss, the Gift of Savings Sale. For a limited time, ask how to get a great deal for your business. You can get a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle and free installation when you buy online and switch to Comcast Business with a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. That's $650 to spend on whatever your business needs. Or if you want another way to save, you can get started with internet and advanced security for $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. So give your business the gift of savings today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Prepaid offer ends 1/3/22. Call or go online for details.
Bet Rivers Sportsbook wants you to experience Rush Pay. When you want to cash out your winnings, you don't want to wait 2 days just to get the go-ahead to withdraw your money. That's why Bet Rivers created Rush Pay. With Rush Pay, 80% of withdrawal requests are approved instantly, meaning you'll get your money faster. Why wait? Get your cash when you want it. Bet with a winner. Bet with Bet Rivers Sportsbook at BetRivers.com. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Aired by the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Has this ever happened to you? My friend was telling me about his new pair of headphones, so I looked them up online. Now, everywhere I go is a creepy ad for those headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I got DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. It's that simple. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Imagine the organizing possibilities with Lowe's, where keeping it all together comes with Project Source Clear Storage Totes starting at $238 and iDesign plus the Spruce Storage Bin starting at $1298. Clean up your closet with the Closet-Made Brightwood Closet Kit starting at $119.98. Find it all at Lowe's Store and Save event in-store and on Lowe's.com. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid through 3/18. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. U.S. only. iDesign plus the Spruce Storage Bin. Pricing excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, Carrie, we need that tax report by tomorrow.
tomorrow. Hey, Bobby, get me that expenses.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential.
We're a couple of accountants short.
He needs whip-smart accountants at whiplash speed.
Hey, so why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those two teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan. Which is a team now in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, it's Mike Miss here. You know, Philly sports is a big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports Reports, powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's 11:30 on 97.5 The Fanatic. Football Monday. Presented by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. And the 11 o'clock hour is brought to us by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. We've got two open lines right now for the first time all show. You can climb in at 610-632-0975 as we are, you guessed it, we are celebrating an Eagles win over the Washington football team and an Eagles playoff berth, because the way things worked out yesterday, now, I will tell you, Connor, oh my God. So I was doing post-game yesterday, and I was being told 8 different things as to how the Eagles could make the playoffs. And for like 2 hours, I was so freaking confused. Because at one point, I'm told we need the Niners to lose. Then I'm told we need the Niners to win. And then I'm told that we need the Panthers to win. And then I'm told that regardless, we want the Packers to win, which I knew was going to be a win because there was no way Sean Mannion was going to beat the Packers in Lambeau when the Packers were trying to lock up the 1 seed. Like, I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I kind of wrote that off. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Why do we want the Niners to win? Because if the Panthers pull this off, because they were winning at the time, the Saints would be eliminated. And so would the Vikings. So if anything, I'd rather the Niners lose because I want the better seed. I want the 6th seed as opposed to the 7th seed. And then I'll be, no, that's wrong, because if the Niners make it and there's a 3-way tie, the Eagles get eliminated. But then there's the guy on NBC saying that if it's a 3-way tie, the Niners are the team eliminated. So it was so freaking confusing yesterday because I'm being told by 8 different people 8 different things.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I've been kind of trying to wade it through myself. I have some good news for you, though.
The Eagles are in the playoffs?
The Eagles are in the playoffs.
Yeah, you said you know how I feel. I was on the air trying to figure it out. I'm sitting here like I'm swimming, drowning, actually. I'm like, because then no, you're wrong. It's this. And then I got another tweet. No, it's wrong. You're wrong. It's this. Then a guy calls it. No, you're wrong. It's this. I'm like,
there's some weird dumb thing. If there's a 2-way tie, it's
and versus a 3-way tie.
3-way tie, so the Eagles could be ahead of one of the teams.
But I was told the 3-way tie, had the Niners lost yesterday, the Eagles would be eliminated. But the 3-way tie with the Niners winning, the Niners would be eliminated. Because the Saints still are a game back. Now, the Saints have officially, I don't think they're officially eliminated.
No, they're still alive.
Because the Niners, with that win yesterday, could knock them out. It made no freaking sense yesterday. So think about this. The Niners...
Do I have to think about You're breaking my brain.
The Niners winning yesterday somehow hurt them. Based off of what I was being told yesterday by 50 different people.
Kind of?
Because the Niners... Had there been a 3-way tie, Eagles, Saints, Niners, and the Niners lost yesterday, the Eagles would be the one eliminated? But because they won yesterday, and if there's a three-way tie, the Niners could be eliminated.
Yeah, but they'd be kind of playing Russian roulette because if they lose out and the Eagles win against Dallas and the Saints win out, then I guess there's a way where
right.
The Niners.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was so confusing. I'm sitting here on the air.
It hurt them, but it put them at risk if they did lose.
Poor Dan Fritz, he was producing the show. We're trying to figure this out. His head's spinning.
It's the damn Da Vinci Code.
My God. So anyways, the good news is the Eagles are in the playoffs. We're going to find out if they're the 6th or the 7th seed. It's crazy because here's what's so weird. So I'm on NFL.com in the playoff picture. Clinched a playoff spot. Packers, 1 seed. Right now. Packers, 1 seed. Rams, 2 seed. Bucks, 3 seed. Cowboys, 4 seed. Cardinals, 5 seed. Eagles, 7th seed. The 49ers are in the hunt as the 6th seed because the Eagles and Niners have the same record, but the Niners have the head-to-head over the Eagles, which is why they're higher in the standings. But the fact that the Niners won yesterday and the Saints won yesterday, the Niners could still get eliminated. That makes no sense to me.
That just shows you how wild it is that the Eagles have already clinched a playoff spot.
When they are behind the Niners.
It's nuts.
The Niners are still not in the playoffs. You would think if the Eagles make the playoffs, or if the Eagles are in it today as the 7th seed, like they clinched, that means the Saints will be eliminated, but it's not. The way it somehow works out because the Saints and Niners never played each other this year. So it's not a head-to-head thing. It's like a
it then turns into like NFC record,
and then if they have the same record, which I think they do. I did the math. Like if the Niners lose and the Saints win, they will have the same record.
Then it's common opponents.
And it's like I think they're on like step 6,
and then it's points scored, and then it's thumb wrestling,
and it's just like.
That's a coin flip.
It's so weird. Like, it breaks my brain when I'm looking at the playoff picture and I see clinched a playoff spot and I see the number 7 next to the Eagles. And then in the hunt, I see the number 6 next to the 49ers. Dude, last night my head was spinning. It made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, Taysom Hill and Trey Lance are going to have to play tic-tac-toe to see who ends up making it in, I think.
Now,
is what they landed on.
I'm guessing this is him. Can you just double check for me?
Yeah, I'll check. Hang on.
I don't know why. So this is the second time he would have called in to me. The first time he called in on the regular line, 610-632-0975. The second time he's calling me is on the contest line at 215-263-0975.
He's a man of mystery. You never know where he's going to pop up.
We have a hotline, right? That I'm pretty sure he knows the number for, but he's now on the, I can't even say Comcast Business Hotline. He's on the Comcast Business Contest line.
He's on the Fanatic Contest line.
It's John Kincaid. What's up, John? What are you doing?
Do not assume I know any number, because if it's not programmed into my phone, I know nobody's number, even my wife.
But why do you have the contest line? Are you trying to win? Have you been calling in trying to win prizes?
I think I remember giving it out. I don't know. I'm bad with numbers like that. But I can't believe you guys, your heads are swimming on this. I got a very simple explanation for you.
Go ahead, please.
Okay? San Francisco and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
If it had been a two-way tie, San Francisco eliminates the Eagles because head-to-head is always the tiebreaker within the conference.
Yes, we know that.
If 3 teams tie, it was conference record. And the 49ers get eliminated over the Saints, and the Eagles would have advanced.
It's just so, but it's so weird. Like, I'm looking at the...
It is.
Like, I see the 6th seed next to the Niners in the hunt, but 7th seed Eagles in the playoffs. It's strange, man.
They can't miss, and right now, look, 49ers win, they're in.
Yeah.
It's simple. And they've beaten the Rams 5 times in a row.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's like, there's Shanahan over McVay has been, remember, McVay worked under Shanahan. So there's been a little bit of an edge there to Shanahan in these matchups. But if they win, they're in. If not, the Saints beat the Falcons, they're in, and the Eagles are guaranteed to be the 6th seed.
Right.
So if the Saints make it, they'll be the 6th seed, which sends you to Tampa, most likely.
Correct. And the 7th seed right now, you get the Rams.
Right now, I'd personally rather face Matt Stafford.
Me too.
And I know you say the boy genius.
I hate the boy genius. Screw him.
But I worked for his dad, and He won the state title at my daughter's high school, so we have a fondness for the McVay family in our house. So I will not mock
No, you
him
can have
like
a fondness for Mr. McVay, but screw Sean.
No, guess what? I want to see the Rams. I'd much rather see them play the Rams.
Yeah, of
because
course.
Of Stafford. I mean, I just think that Stafford is going to probably put you in a position on a short field minimum once.
It would be nice to beat. It would be nice to beat the GOAT again, though, in a playoff game. How awesome
Wouldn't
would that
be? But we could get our teeth kicked in, but that'd be fun too.
Yeah.
It's all endless possibilities, and thanks for all the positivity today, guys.
Of course.
I'm going to go back to my walk.
Apparently, I've been negative, but
No, you have not been.
I have no idea, John. I'm so confused.
Don't let a YouTube troller distract you from what you're doing. Your mission is to bring joy, joyousness.
Yes, and I'm trying to bring joy. Goodbye, John. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for clearing
It's
things
nice
up.
to hear from John.
Yeah, on the Comcast Business Contest line.
Yeah, dude, stop being so negative.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Stop. You got to be a little bit more positive, okay?
Seem
very melancholy today.
Apparently. It's just so confusing.
Is it the weather?
A lot of people on the YouTube chat were asking to zap Kincaid.
Oh, zap.
How come you didn't have the shock, man?
Work on the guy's show. I can't zap.
People were asking for the zap.
Can't zap the hand that feeds.
All right,
Come on.
so with John calling in, I'll get to the Chris Sims list coming up in a little bit. I want to get to some more calls. The Chris Sims top 40 quarterback countdown that he gave out on June 23rd, that did not include Jalen Hurts, which I thought was ridiculous at the time. And I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan. And at the time, I thought that was ridiculous. I wonder how he feels looking back at it. Let's go to John in South Philly. John, you're on the Fanatic. What's up, John?
Brother, I am fired up. I told your screener. I don't understand why people are not fired up about this. This is insane.
It makes no sense to me.
I don't get it, man. Like, we started off 2-5. We all know that, right? Do you know what the percentage of us making the playoffs was when we were 2-5? And I'm not here to be like this.
Yeah, I'm not a percentage guy, but I would imagine it was in the low 20s.
No, dude, it was 12%.
That's
12%, Tunis.
Yeah.
12%. And now here we are. So I don't understand anybody. This is like icing on the cake.
Well, look at who they've played, John. Well, okay.
Who cares?
So what?
Teams that are in front of you. I don't understand this attitude of people. And I got something else to tell you. This Jalen Hurts, this kid's getting better every week. I don't care what anybody says. The plays he made yesterday, he looked awesome. Now, is he the greatest thrower in the world? No. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Probably not. But he's improvising on demand. What more do you want?
Yeah, I mean, I've been impressed, especially yesterday. And again, this was one of my biggest things that I was disappointed in when it came to Jalen Hurts was his happy feet, his lack of patience in the pocket, and when he did have happy feet, he immediately put his head down. Whereas now he's keeping his eyes downfield. Now, do I think he's Brady all of a sudden? No, of course not.
No,
but
of course not.
But that throw to Greg Ward, he's not making that throw 4 weeks ago. I'm not even saying 10 weeks ago. I'm saying a month ago he's not making that play because he's not keeping his eyes downfield. And that's since changed. You've seen it the last 2 weeks. The second half against the Giants, he was doing it.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't understand how people cannot be excited. But I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think, and this is just me, like, off the top of my head, for next year, right? Let's say they go out with one of these first-round picks and they either acquire a quarterback or whatever. Do you think that they'll just keep riding with Jalen until the wheels fall off, or is this a situation where it's like, great, we got the most out of him for this season, and next season
You mean
we'll get somebody else in there?
you draft let's just say Kenny Pickett?
Yeah. That's what I'm really implying.
Here's the thing: if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I avoid that because of what you just went through with the Wentz situation, and it was different. Right now, Wentz, like Jalen Hurts, I don't think is as weak as Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you draft Kenny Pickett, I think Jalen Hurts goes, well, I'm the starting quarterback, and I'm going to prove it. But my only thing is, like, you drafted Jalen Hurts to be a backup, to be the second. You drafted him in the second round to be a backup. If you're drafting Kenny Pickett, you're basically telling Jalen Hurts, hey, you're not going to be the starter here much longer.
So that's why I was asking the question, because now he was obviously he was the backup, and now he's the starter, and it's like they don't seem convinced. I mean, I'm convinced. I'm like, hey, listen, this is what you got. Like, you got him. He's developing. Like, what more could you ask for out of him? But I asked the question because I'm like, are they still thinking like, we like him, but
I
maybe
think
we're
they're
gonna
still
try
thinking, and it's pretty clear that a few weeks ago, Howie Roseman himself went to scout Kenny Pickett. And I appreciate the call, John. I mean, they basically told you themselves. Now, since that day when Howie Roseman went to Pitt to watch Kenny Pickett play, Jalen Hurts has played better. Like, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback the last 3 weeks than he was 4, 5, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's without a question.
Very clearly.
Without a question, he's played better. So I don't know what the move would be. If you draft Kenny Pickett, I'm just using Pickett as an example because I think he's the guy that people like the most right now.
Kenny Pickett.
There are obviously the other guys that are coming out of the draft that you have your eye on, but Kenny Pickett's kind of like the number one, it seems like, out of all the other quarterbacks. I said this yesterday. If they love Kenny Pickett, right, like the Philadelphia Eagles love Kenny Pickett, they go, this is our 10-year quarterback. You do what you can to get him. Like that if they love him. I'm not saying if I love him, if you love him. Like, I would not trade 2 first-round picks to move up for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
Or
no,
package a
absolutely
pick.
not.
Like, I wouldn't give a first-round pick to move up to get Kenny Pickett. But
like, if he's there at 12 when they end up having that pick, or 14 or whatever their lowest,
and you
pick
move
is.
up a little bit, and you trade like a second-round pick to move up to 2 spots. Okay, but here's the deal: it's up to them. They're the ones making the decisions, right? They're say what you want about Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie and Alec Hallaby and all these guys. They're the ones making the decisions, and if they are in love with somebody, they should go get them. That's how it should work at all times. Forget the position. That's how it should always work. If you are in love with a player and you can get them, like if Hutchinson, obviously he's going to go top 5, but like, let's say one of these picks, the Dolphins pick, was 8th overall, and Hutchinson's going to go 5th, even though he's probably going to go higher than that. You do what you can to move up from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
If you love the guy that much, you would do whatever you could.
Right.
So now just change the name and change it to Pickett. If you love Kenny Pickett, you would do what you can to move up.
Yeah, in theory, you're right. The thing is, like, how do you look at this quarterback class that's coming out of the draft? Like, Kenny Pickett isn't Trevor Lawrence. Kenny Pickett isn't Joe Burrow.
No.
He's not Kyler Murray.
No.
Like,
but if they love them, if it's the Eagles,
I don't know if I trust them.
And that's totally fair. It's totally fair. And I wouldn't do it. Like, I would rather stick with Jalen Hurts another year than, use all this draft capital to move up to get Kenny Pickett. I would.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not moving this draft capital for a quarterback at all now. Unless it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
I'm probably not even doing it for Russ, just because of the year he's had. Like, you have a playoff team. Unless you have a Super Bowl contending quarterback that you're sure is going to get you there one day, I don't know that it's an upgrade over what you got right now, for sure.
I would say it is.
I don't know.
I would say it is.
I think most people would agree with you, but that uncertainty makes me wary to give up.
Well, no, yeah. If you're
assets.
uncertain, you're right. If you're uncertain, you
got to be sure.
Yeah, you're not trading 2 first-round picks for well, we hope Russell Wilson's back to form.
Right.
I got you. Let's go to VT Ron. What's up, Ronnie?
Hey, good morning, boys. Great stuff. Going into the playoffs. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe it, man.
Me neither. I can't believe it either.
I'm fired up. It's awesome.
Hey, and you have not been negative. Tell the people that you've been that calling you negative. Just tell them,
That was very early on in the show. It was a couple of nitwits.
I know,
There was a couple of nitwits. I just didn't understand it, but here we are now.
I don't understand it. Here we are in the playoffs, and Connor, you hit it right in the head. There is not a quarterback this year that I'm going to move to get, including Pickett.
Right.
And I think you hold Hurts for one more year. And you mentioned about throws that he's making now that he wasn't making 10 weeks ago. Well, maybe that's coaching. Maybe he's getting coached to do that. Well, then that's what we got. I mean, if the kid can improve, if he's got a high IQ and can improve on that, he'll never get the arm strength that some other quarterbacks have. Regardless, he's making throws that he couldn't make 3 weeks ago. So that tells me there's got to be something going on the field during practice and in the film room to make him better.
Well, and I'll also say this, Ron. It helps that you've actually started running the football because when you run the ball 3 times against the Cowboys, if I'm the defensive coordinator for Dallas or any team, I'm going, all right, well, I'm going to sit back and defend the pass because we know that they're not running the football.
And that'll be a good test. I'm hoping that the game still means something to Dallas. So and the Eagles play their guys, because I really do want to see Hurts and see what he can do against a better defense. I do want to see that. I want to see what he can do. Listen, the reason why I called, and that it brings me to my point. Coming out of the NFC East, I don't know how much further off the Eagles are than from Dallas, to be very honest with you. You got a team that's playing with an edge right now, and teams that play with an edge are very dangerous. I watched the Cowboys game last night. I didn't think they were very impressive, to be very honest with you, and they got all the talent in the world. So does that tell me that we've caught up to Kellen Winslow? Not we, but I'm saying, coordinators have caught up to Kellen Winslow on his game. I really think coming out, I don't see that much of a difference, maybe personnel-wise, but as far as team-wise goes, what has Dallas done? They've been probably the most inconsistent team.
Well, my biggest concern, if I'm putting football cap on, is that Cowboys offense. We just saw it on the day after Christmas. They put up 56 points against the Washington football team.
Against the broken Washington
Yeah,
football.
it is a broken team.
Andrew.
No, but Ron, you saw Jonathan Gannon's scheme yesterday. It's you let Taylor Heineke burn you in the first half.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks, pal.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon was being Jonathan Gannon again yesterday.
Right, which is why I'm kind of concerned that if it's a 40-point game,
I understand you. But, that's the move that has to be made. I mean, if there's going to be one move that has to be made, maybe. And how do you, and then I'm going to let you all go, but how do you put him in the top 5 candidates to be a head coach?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's doing that. Oh, my God.
Boys, enjoy the rest of
Ronnie,
your day.
Happy New Year, man. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I don't know how Jonathan Gannon's a head coach candidate. I really don't get it, dude.
I don't see it either.
I hope he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I lean towards where you're at. Now,
I hope he is.
I'll have him back another year. Like, it's not the same thing as Hurts by any means, but if you're using kind of the similar mindset, they're making the playoffs with him. They're getting the job done with him. Like, I'll have him back. I'm not firing Jonathan Gannon by any means, but I'm not.
You'd
strongly consider?
I see he was available.
I don't know, man. Like, the other thing is, this is a young coaching staff, the youngest in NFL history. It'd be cool to keep these guys together if you can, and see what type of growth they can have. I don't think Jonathan Gannon has made much growth this year.
I'm just worried that I think he came out of yesterday's game going, wow, that was a hell of a game plan.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're
going to see them play a good team, even if it's the backups. We'll see what type of scheme he has against Dallas. And maybe he doesn't want to show anything if they decide to sit people. Then we're going to see it next week in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
We're going to find these answers out because they've earned the right to be in the playoffs, which is an awesome thing for the development, not of the team, just the team, but the coaching staff as well.
Right. Now, Jimmy E on the YouTube chat says, why do people keep going with this Heineke being a bad quarterback? I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I even said it leading into the game. He's the best quarterback they've faced in the last 6 weeks, because you look at the quarterbacks they've played, it's been terrible. And as you mentioned earlier, just last year, he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in the first round of the playoffs last season. But Dak Prescott better than Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, for sure.
These skill players, Terry McLaurin's a beast, but these skill players overall in Dallas better than what Washington has. So it'll be interesting to see, and if this game mattered on Saturday now, if it probably won't, but if it mattered on Saturday, how would the Eagles defense and this scheme look against that team?
Yeah, I love VT Ron, but the Eagles might be closer to Dallas than we think. They hung 41 on the Eagles in prime time.
I'm not there.
Yeah. Let's slow the roll.
Well, hey, you might not face them in the first round. I don't think you can. My man West Virginia Rick was texting me anyway that it doesn't look like they could. So right now the Cowboys would be facing the Cardinals, hosting the Cardinals in round 1 if the season were to end today. And if the season ended today, Eagles would be traveling to LA to take on the Rams. Because of tiebreakers and all kinds of stuff, the Cowboys can't go higher than the 3 seed.
Okay.
So unless the Eagles can't jump up to 5, because the Cardinals are 11-5, so there's no way. Right. So you're not going to see the Cowboys in the first round anyway. Rams or Bucks?
I really want to end their season.
Rams or Bucks, go.
Rams.
610-632-0975. We got a couple open lines. I will go through the Chris Sims top 40 list that he put out on June 23rd so we can really look back and see how ridiculous it just was to not even have Jalen Hurts in the top 40. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. Anthony will be back tomorrow right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Team Liquid has re-signed their hottest CSGO player, Knopf, through 2024. With over $1 million in prize money earned in his career, the 24-year-old Canadian averages $145,000 in earnings per year. That's not a bad pool of cash considering professional soccer players in the MLS have a median salary of $200,000 and train considerably harder.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com. Hey, Carrie, we need that tax report by tomorrow. Hey, Bobby, get me that expenses.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential.
I know we're a couple of accountants short.
He needs whip-smart accountants at whiplash speed.
Hey, so why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is licensed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Banking. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Natalie. It's football season, and don't forget to bet with the best. The Park Sportsbook app, based right here in Pennsylvania. The Park Sportsbook app is a game changer. They have live in-game betting. New customers can sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $500. Your risk-free bet refunded in site credit. Just download the app or click parkscasino.com/PA and use promo code Natalie.
Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, is proud to be the official local casino partner of your Philadelphia 76ers. That's right, the two best brands in the region have joined together this basketball season to bring fans more fun, more wins, and more excitement. Celebrate the wins of the Sixers with Parks Casino. Parks Casino, #1 in the region. The hottest live tables, slot machines, gaming, and the best live entertainment. Visit Parks Casino and get in on the action. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Anthony Gargano. Listen up. Love doesn't stop, and neither does Golden Nugget Jewelers. Why? Because Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged. Largest selection of diamonds, clean and safe environment, major financing options, as well as unbeatable prices for name brands such as Verragio and Tacori. So you can find the perfect diamond without breaking the bank. It's time to show your partner how much you love them. Visit Golden Nugget Jewelers at the corner of 8th and Chestnut. Online, GoldenNuggetJewelry.com.
Hun, looks like the neighbor's kid hit a home run into our windshield.
Better call the insurance company.
We have the one with the leopard mascot, right?
No, it's a tiger.
Doesn't it have spots?
A cheetah?
Maybe it was Stripes.
Some insurance companies are known for their mascots. At NJM, we're known for a straightforward claims experience our customers love.
Just called them. It's a cougar, and we're not covered.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit NJM.com to see if you could save up to 20% on your auto insurance.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
I need to be able to work from anywhere.
so I need to have supplies, well, everywhere.
It's possible at Staples.
I need the same setup for my home as I have at the office, without twice the cost.
Also possible, because your local Staples store has the tools your business needs to get work done. Now get 40% back in a Staples store bonus when you buy any 2 ink or toner cartridges. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/15, limit 2 in-store only. See staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details.
Check out Landmark Americana on City Line Avenue. Enjoy $10 wings Monday through Friday from 4 to 7, $4 Landmark lemonades, and Tuesday trivia night starting January 19th. Watch the Sixers games at Landmark Americana with $4 Corona and Corona Premier Specials during all games. 2481 North 54th Street. Online at landmarkamericana.com.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
12 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. We got a couple open phone lines. You can jump in at 610-632-0975. Nick and Don will get to you in the second, and then it's your calls after that at 610-632-0975. The Chris Sims list, I'll get to that in a second, but I just saw a tweet. This was from late last night from Chad Graff, who covers the Minnesota Vikings for The Athletic, Connor. Mike Zimmer was asked about playing Kellen Mond next week, who's the third-string quarterback, because Kirk Cousins missed the game yesterday because of COVID-19. Sean Mannion was the starter, and he was just dreadful. He was terrible. And they actually gave Kellen Mond a few snaps, but he almost threw a pick six on his very first play. If I'm Kellen Mond, I want to go somewhere else or hope that Mike Zimmer gets fired, which he could be, because Mike Zimmer's been a major disappointment in Minnesota.
I would make a sizable bet he's not the coach of that team.
And here's the thing, he thinks he's Mr. Genius. Remember he had issues with DiFilippo. He didn't run the ball, not all kinds of, and he was vocal about it. Right? He didn't have we'll play the Nick Sirianni cut in a little bit from yesterday, where Sirianni backs up Jonathan Gannon and talks about the throws that Taylor Heineke made. Mike Zimmer would just be like, "No, I hated the game plan today." Yo, dude, aren't you in the meeting rooms with the offense?
Take some accountability.
Dude, you're the head coach. You're supposed to be in the meeting rooms, but whatever. So he was asked if he would like to see Mond play next week, and his response was not particularly. And then they followed up with why not, and he said, "I see him every day."
I would say no.
He gave us the old just no thanks.
No. So if I'm could you imagine? Hey, do you want to see Kellen Mond get some more snaps next week? Nah. You're the head coach of the team. And if I'm Kellen Mond and I hear that, I go, screw you, dude.
You just drafted this kid.
Yes.
He had a solid college career at Texas A&M. It's not like he's Joe Schmo from Miami, Ohio.
Right.
This dude, a lot of people said he could play coming out of college.
Well, that's part of the reason why I even brought it up is because he did make the Chris Sims top 40 list.
Oh, of course he did.
So it's funny that I saw that tweet, and then I see the Chris Sims top 40 list. So if you're just tuning in, for the first time ever, you know that I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy. I don't think I love the kid. Right? I'm not saying I don't like the kid. And I like his intangibles on the field. There's just a few things that I go, all right, do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl? I have my doubts, so why should I settle? I think we should try to want the best for our teams. I'm rooting for all hell. I'm not one of these guys. And please, I really hope nobody thinks that I am. I'm not a root to be right guy, unless it's for a positive thing. If I thought Jalen Hurts was a Super Bowl winning quarterback, I would obviously root to be right. But I don't think Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl quarterback. But I'm not going man, I hope he throws an interception here because I want to tell you that I was right and you were wrong. No, I don't want that, because if Jalen Hurts does not play well, the Eagles don't play well. Which is why the same thing last year, there were people rooting for Carson Wentz to play poorly. Think about that. There were people, Eagles fans, that wore the logo that I'm wearing today, wore the logo that you're wearing today on the ridiculous hat that you got on.
It's a great hat.
I hate that hat.
Love
the
this
first
hat.
time I saw you wear that hat, Pat Egan and I both yelled at you to take the hat off.
Do you know how warm my head is
Dude,
right
it's
now?
terrible. I hate that hat. I want to burn it, but I can't burn it because it's got the Eagles logo
If this hat had emotions, it would hate you right back.
Dude, I hate that hat. Anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure you agree. If you're not watching on YouTube, check it out because he looks...
I'll tweet out a picture. It's a good hat.
Did you just buckle it?
No, I can buckle it, though. There's a little strap down
See,
here.
come on, dude.
Where I can buckle it up.
Anyways.
Got to buckle up for safety here.
There were people not wearing that ridiculous... I heard the damn buckle. There were people not wearing that ridiculous hat, but wearing the Eagles logo that were rooting for Carson Wentz to fail last year because they didn't like him and they wanted to be right. And I said, yo, you're being a fraudulent Eagles fan rooting against this guy because that means if he plays poorly, the Eagles play poorly. So the same thing with Jalen Hurts. I might not think that he's a franchise quarterback, but I'm not rooting for me to be right because if he doesn't play well, the Eagles don't play well, and I'm pissed off. And today I'm in a fantastic mood because the Eagles are in the playoffs. So I don't understand why people do that. But the top 40 list, like I was rooting for Jalen Hurts to play super well just to make another national guy be put in his place. Here's Chris Sims' 40 list. So Mahomes, number 1. Now, forget the order. Like, Mahomes is number 1, Josh Allen is number 2. I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Josh Allen. He has Aaron Rodgers at number 3. But forget the order. Just think about where we are. So your top 10 for Chris Sims on June the 23rd. Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, who didn't even play. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. He had Tom Brady at number 10.
That's crazy. It's nuts.
He had Tom Brady at number 10. And it's not top 40 to build around. It's top 40 right now. He had Tom Brady at number 10. Justin Herbert, Ryan Tannehill was number 12. But again, we'll ignore this part. Baker Mayfield, 13. Derek Carr, 14. Matt Ryan, 15. Blech, I think he stinks. I've been telling you that for a while. Kirk Cousins, 16. Joe Burrow, 17. Carson Wentz, 18. Sam Darnold, 19. Cam Newton, who was fighting for the starting job in New England at the time and then got cut, was his 20th best quarterback in the NFL.
And what, 2 spots away from Joe Burrow?
3. Joe Burrow was 17.
Not remotely in the same conversation.
He had Cam Newton behind Sam Darnold, who eventually took over the job. Now, Darnold got hurt, obviously, but whatever. Now we're on the 21 to 30. Garoppolo, who I think should be lower because he stinks. Roethlisberger, who should be lower because he's cooked. Fitzpatrick, 23. All right, fine. Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, he had back-to-back. I'm not a big Winston fan, but you can't put Hill in front of Winston. On that team, you didn't put Winston over Hill, or you didn't put Hill over Winston. He was the starting quarterback, Jameis Winston, before he got hurt. Come on, dude. This is I got to sound smart. Shut up.
Exactly.
Daniel Jones, 26. That's fine. Zach Wilson, 27. We didn't know who he was yet. Trevor Lawrence, 28. He didn't have a good season, so now the coach.
But even having Trevor Lawrence behind Zach Wilson at that point is crazy.
Let me sound smarter than what I am. Andy Dalton, 29. Mac Jones, who's in the playoffs, is number 30. Your final 10, 31 to 40. Notice I have not said Jalen Hurts' name just yet. Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock.
Trash.
Tua Tagovailoa, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Kellen Mond, who we just talked about. The damn head coach of the Minnesota Vikings doesn't even want to see him play. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Case Keenum. Again, I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy in terms of, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think he's an awesome dude. I root for him because I want the Eagles to play well. But to have him not even on this list, you have Case Keenum, who hasn't been relevant since 2017 when the Eagles, destroyed him in the NFC Championship game. Justin Fields, fine, because higher draft pick in the draft just the year prior, okay. Trey Lance, fine. Kellen Mond.
No reason for him to be there.
Really? Marcus Mariota, filled in well for Derek Carr last year and still wasn't playing anywhere, right? He's still the backup. Tyrod Taylor? Really? What have you seen from Tyrod Taylor? I get Teddy Bridgewater because, he played well in Minnesota before getting hurt. But Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, especially being on the Texans.
Come on, man. Tua, I was kind of okay with him being low on the list, not that low. I'm not a big Tua Tagovailoa fan, but hey, look, he turned the season around in Miami. Drew Lock. Are we kidding?
Drew Lock shouldn't be in the
He's not even the starter on his team. And there's another guy that's probably getting paid handsomely. Somebody tweeted in, where is it? My man Steve Glansberg tweeted in. Isn't that the guy from...
Was it? Yeah, it was Steven Glansberg. Yep. Eats alone at the table in Superbet.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
So his real name, it's at Brett Verbich, but Steven Glansberg is his Twitter. That's fantastic. If anybody hasn't seen Superbad, go watch it. He said, your boy was spot on this preseason. Think he'll own it. And it was Colin Cowherd's preseason predictions, and he had the Eagles going 4-13. I always said they were going to be good, Joy. I always said it. Like that, that's what he's going to somehow say, no, I had them going 9-7. 10-7. I had them going 10-7. Like, it's just like, dude. Stop lying. Just be honest. Because you're a national show, everything's on there.
Right. People can find this information again.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. What are we doing here?
You're not out in Iowa doing some
right. That's what I'm
podcast.
saying.
People are gonna call you out on this.
But he'll somehow make it seem like he was the first one to say the Eagles would make the playoff. All right, let's go back to the phones. Nick in Pennsylvania. Nick, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
What's up, Nick?
Oh my gosh! If you're wearing Eagles green today, you are having a wonderful day.
Yeah, it's an awesome day, man.
I don't care who you are. All the Skeptidelphians and Negadelphians, be gone. Just sit where we are, where we were at the beginning of the season, or even halfway through the season. Everything is just gravy, and our future. A couple callers ago, they said we're comparable to the Cowboys. As talent-wise as we sit right now, we are not, of course.
No.
But looking towards the future, we're the third youngest team in the NFL, and that's with some outliers like Jason Kelce and Rodney McLeod. So we're one of the youngest teams. We kill all that dead money with Carson coming off the books next year. We have 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I like Rodney McLeod more than others, but I'll also say this, with 3 first-round draft picks, if you can land a playmaking safety to fill in for Rodney McLeod when he's done here, that's a pretty good step forward in the next direction for the Eagles.
Well, I completely agree, and I think with Jalen Hurts, you got to ride with him. Don't waste all your capital going after a quarterback in the draft, or even, unless Aaron Rodgers can come here and you're not giving all 3 first-round draft picks, and I wouldn't even do that right now where the way you're sitting. You can rebuild, and not even rebuild, more so retool. We thought it would be a rebuild, but it's a retool and gear up and go into next year, and who knows what happens. We could go out there and win a playoff game. So, everything is golden and glorious today. I'm off. I'm cleaning my garage. I am happy to be an Eagles fan.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Enjoy your day off. What are your plans other than cleaning the garage today?
Clean the garage, just play with the kids, play with all their toys. Just kind of wind down from Christmas and New Year's and start 2022 off with playoff football, baby.
That's awesome, Nick. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. I appreciate the phone call. I was supposed to be off today.
You were?
But things happen. I'm in, and listen, I'm happy I'm in.
Would you miss me too much?
I missed you. And then I saw the hat, and I regretted my decision to come back. I saw that you tweeted it.
It's a great hat.
It's disgusting.
The people need to know how nice this hat is.
God, it's
talking like I'm wearing a garbage bag on my head.
Yeah, you're pretty much close to it. If it wasn't for the logo, the Eagle logo, it would be a garbage bag on your head.
I have one of these without the logo.
That's a garbage bag. Then
love that hat.
That is a garbage bag. But no, I'm thrilled that I'm in today. I'm having a good time. Excited to see Anthony tomorrow. I haven't seen Anthony in a while. I haven't seen him since the 23rd of December.
Wow,
it's been a long time, man.
Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder, though.
He even texted me last night. Said it's weird that I'm not going to be in tomorrow celebrating the Eagles win. So yeah. Well, give me a call. He hasn't.
John Kincaid called
in.
Yeah, call us, Anthony.
Jamie called in yesterday after the Eagles game.
How was that?
I kept it short.
It's probably for the best. So he was down there with the great Philly sports trips, visiting the wonderful FedEx Field, who everyone in attendance said was a great facility for football to be played.
Can you believe how much of a dump that place is?
How is it not condemned to build?
And literally, dump is a literal term because we have seen sewage pipes open up inside like suites.
Forget sewage pipes. You're getting a little bit wet and maybe a little bit dirty if you get sewage pipes. What? Jalen Hurts
just
almost,
a little. Whoa,
Jalen Hurts almost got crushed.
Whoa. Whoa.
In the grand scheme of things.
Hold on a second there, dude. You just said a little bit wet and a little bit dirty. It's sewage,
it's not
dude.
preferable. I'd prefer to be dry and clean. But if I had to pick between getting a little wet and dirty or almost falling and crushing the quarterback of my favorite team, I'd probably choose the sewage water.
You just used the words. Forget getting a little bit of wet, a little bit dirty. Dude, it's poop. What do you mean a little bit dirty? It's poop. A sewage pipe
I wouldn't
burst.
enjoy it. You're acting like I'm asking
I'm not
for it.
saying you would enjoy it, but you acted like it was nothing. It's poop.
Compared to almost crushing Jalen Hurts, compared to falling like 10 feet on my neck. I mean, I'm not going to die from the sewage water.
You could.
I'm not drinking it. It's falling on my head. Get out of the way.
What if you had
second.
an open wound?
I had an open. I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor.
Dude, you acted like it was no big deal. Come on, man. I am disgusted.
You act like I'm sitting here saying I want sewage water.
I'm
to
not
fall through the
saying
ceiling
that.
on me.
Your reaction to forget a little bit, you'll get a little dirty.
Water. I'm
God,
anti-sewage water
I
on
don't
me,
know.
okay?
I don't know.
What do you want me to say? I just don't want to fall on Jalen Hurts more.
You and Odell Beckham into the same stuff, man?
Whoa,
Come on, man.
Easy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a weird story.
It's pretty funny.
Come on, man.
No, I'm not into that.
My God, you just it's a little bit.
No,
poop.
but one of those is taking one for the team.
God.
The other one is almost falling and crushing the quarterback and almost breaking my neck in the process.
Anyways, you're right. I don't know how that building's not closed. Forget the poop part. Jesus.
Trying to frame me as a poop water enjoyer.
Did you
Get outta here.
Did you see the photo that somebody posted of that same railing before it collapsed?
No.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
It happened earlier this year. Now, I don't know if people fell, but that same railing collapsed earlier this season. Do you know how they fixed it?
What, duct tape?
Close. Zip ties. So they zip tied just the other railings to the left and right of it.
What the hell are we doing, Dad?
And when you have 4 or 5 Eagles fans, let's just say the lowest $150 weight-wise, but you have 4 of them leaning up against it, the zip ties, they broke.
Yeah. The good thing is it's right above the players' entrance and exit. So,
what are you guys doing?
Let me ask you: have you ever actually been down to FedEx Field?
No, I have not.
So, I've got to imagine there's people out there who maybe they're Eagles fans and never went down there. Maybe they're neutral parties that are just listening to the show, and they see these tweets and they see these videos and they're like, these are 1 or 2 offs. Like all the craziest stuff gets put on social
that
media.
bad?
It's terrible. It is the worst venue for sports in North America, and there's not a close second.
And I've been told, because I remember I was going to get my dad tickets, not for yesterday's game, but for like a few years ago, and we were going to make the trip. Like I was told that like a lot of the seats, the view is terrible.
Yes,
because they built on to it, and so you can't see from like half the seats, which is like ridiculous. Whatever. You freaked me out, dude. I'll be honest.
What?
You freaked me out.
What?
It's just a little bit of sewage water.
Stop.
Oh, dude.
Stop.
I know you can't smell, but come on.
That's part of it. I'm anti-sewage water. How many times do I have to say it?
Come on, man. I can't trust you. I'd rather Jamie do the Swedish fish incident than that. Oh, my God. Let's go to Don and Delco. Don, you're on The Fanatic.
How you doing, gentlemen? Thank
What's
you for
up, Don?
taking my call. Listen, and I know other people have said it, but I do got to say I don't think you have been negative. I think you have your opinions. I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but
yeah, and that's fine. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of life.
Yeah, I think you're happy that the Eagles are in the playoffs, and so am I. You know what I mean? I'd be the first to tell you I didn't see this prior to this season starting because, I mean, I think Pro Football Focus had this as the 4th worst roster.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier today, and I even thought at the time that was ridiculous. I didn't think they'd be a great team, but I thought they were going to be a competitive 6-win team, if that makes sense. Like they were going to be in every game, but they didn't have enough pieces to win those games, kind of like the Panthers last season. But to have them bottom 5, I thought was kind of ridiculous. But like you said, I did not expect them to make the playoffs. I thought they would be a 6-win max team.
Yeah, like, I mean, like when I hear people say, like, oh, they only beat this team or that team, again, like one of you said earlier, the Eagles were supposed to be one of those teams. So I don't understand. When we came into this season, the whole goal was to see this young coaching staff, how good they are as the season goes on, and also see the maturation of Jalen Hurts and his opportunity to start.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool.
somehow, somewhere we've gotten to where and I heard you mention it a couple times too. My only gripe is that he's not a top 10 quarterback. I don't understand how he's expected to be a top 10 quarterback in his first year starting.
No, but I mean, Don, my thing is like, so you watch Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. They're very, very young, just like Jalen Hurts, but you could see where these guys could be very, very stellar quarterbacks for many years, whereas I don't see Jalen Hurts becoming one of those quarterbacks. Now, can you win with the style of play that Jalen Hurts has? We'll see. I mean, in recent years, it hasn't been that way. Can the tide change? You know, you see Lamar Jackson, a guy who has explosive speed. They've won 13 games a couple of times with him, and now they've come up small in the playoffs, but it'll be interesting. Jalen Hurts' style of quarterback play, can you win that way? We'll find out.
Well, his style of play absolutely is going to look different than Brady, going to look different than Burrow. And I think Burrow is reaching there, Herbert as well. But for every one of those you bring up, I got to ask you, because I know you watch football like me. Mm-hmm. Do you really think you would take Lawrence right now over Hurts? Do you really think you would take Zach Wilson?
No, I would not. I didn't like Zach Wilson to begin with. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I would still take a flyer on. I want to listen. That situation, Jacksonville with Urban Meyer.
First-round pick, he does not look good, and I get the controversy with Urban Meyer and all that going on.
I would say that's a bit more than a controversy. I don't know what the hell was going on with her. I mean, Urban Meyer didn't take a flight home with the team so he can be grinding on a girl at a damn bar.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is you see, for instance, what's going on in Oakland, and I think everybody had Lawrence, if not now, eventually being a better quarterback than Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. They've faced as much adversity, if not more than any team.
Yeah, no, you're right. Now he's longer in the league. This isn't his first year.
But see, that's my main gripe.
Yes,
Hurts is in his second year. Mm-hmm. His first year starting. Let's give him a chance to see if he can get to top 10. I mean, we weren't expecting Carson Wentz to be. We gave Carson Wentz 5 years here.
Yeah,
we can't even give this kid 2 full seasons as a starter. That's my problem that I have with this. If he doesn't pan out and be in the top 10 quarterback or being what we need, we can always move on. And I get the urge with having 3 first-round picks. But this draft,
well, that's the big thing, Don, right? It's the 3 first-round picks. And I appreciate the call, man. It was a great call. It really was. But that's the big thing, right? The 3 first-round picks. If it was a normal year, we might not be having this same conversation. If you have 1 first-round pick and it's 21st overall, the Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers conversation is not even possible because you don't have the capital to make that trade. You don't have the capital if Kenny Pickett, as I said, falls to 12. And the Eagles love Kenny Pickett, not you, Connor, not me, not the audience. If the Eagles love Kenny Pickett and he falls to 12th overall, and they go, well, we got 14 and 19. We can package those to move up to 12. You know, whoever the 12th spot is, we give them the 19th overall pick. They trade back to 14. They also get 19. If they love Kenny Pickett, they go get him. It's only possible because of the capital you have right now. So I know Don says, I know everybody's excited because of the 3 first-round picks. Well, that's why. It's the only reason why.
Right, and it's not just the quarterback thing either. Like, you just have so much more flexibility for everything with the 3 first-round picks. Like, to be in the other teams with multiple picks in the first round are the Giants and the Jets. Like,
yeah,
those teams are dumpster fires.
Yeah, they're trash.
You're in the playoffs with 3,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unheard of.
And then you can have the conversation of, all right, well, if Jalen Hurts comes up, I'm not saying when, if he comes up small in the playoffs, hey, we're a quarterback away with this roster. Let's go get the quarterback. Or maybe he does go toe-to-toe with Brady or Matt Stafford or whoever they play in the first round, and the defense just gets cooked. Hey, we have 3 first-round picks to build this team defensively.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
And that's the best part. The fact that you do have all these options, I don't think they're in purgatory right now.
No, they're on the plus side for sure.
Yeah, they are, because they're 9-7, potentially could be 10-7. They are in the playoffs. It's a lock right now. And they have a future with all these draft picks, and they could make multiple they could trade a pick for the next year, right? I know Rob Motti was saying that one executive told him that the Eagles could very well move one of those first-round picks to next year. I know Anthony's been saying that for weeks now, even before that executive told Rob Motti that Anthony would do that. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. The best part is they have options. And I don't know if we had those same options 10 weeks ago. You had the picks, but all right, 10 weeks ago, before people thought Jalen Hurts was the way he's playing now, you would go, oh, well, we need a quarterback, we need a defensive end, we need a safety, we need this, we need another wide receiver, we need a running back, but all of a sudden things change. 610-632-0975. Jason Berger tweets in that your hat is horrible in a glorious way.
Correct. I'll take that. Take that as a compliment.
All right.
Thank you, Jason Berger.
All right. 610-632-0975. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for 97.5 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
NBA tonight, the Sixers home to take on the Houston Rockets. Philadelphia looking to extend a 3-game win streak. Sixers a 13-point home favorite, minus 950 on the money line. The Rockets plus 640. Flyers head to Anaheim Tuesday to take on the Ducks. Philadelphia's lost back-to-back games, coming off a 6-3 loss to the LA Kings on Saturday. Tuesday, they'll be wrapping up their 5-game road trip. They'll return to Philadelphia Thursday to host the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. Early line, the Eagles a 2.5-point home underdog, minus 108 against the spread. Dallas minus 112, over under 41.5. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's favorite sportsbook app. I'm Tony Desiri, 97.5 The Fanatic.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me. 40 days up to 40 pounds. That's how much you could lose when you join NJ Diet, because NJ Diet only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. Now, since NJ Diet is a contractually guaranteed money-back program, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. NJ Diet is 100% tailored to you by using bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. 40 days up to 40 pounds can be a real thing. Unlike other weight loss systems, NJ Diet is all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods, and no surgery. With offices close by in Princeton, Cherry Hill, and King of Prussia, or from home with live online video consultations. Call them now, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Kick off the new year with Xfinity and get fast, reliable internet for $29.99 a month for 24 months with a 1-year contract. And score 2 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited wireless data. You'll save hundreds over Verizon. That's incredible speed at an amazing value, so you can keep new resolutions going strong. Plus, ask how to get $300 back and a 5G phone on us during the Xfinity Hello 2022 sales event. Don't wait. Go to Xfinity.com/sale, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 1/10/22. Restrictions apply. New Performance Pro Internet 200 megabits per second customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 400 megabits per second to Verizon 400 megabits per second, each with 1 unlimited mobile line for a year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
HVAC contractors and techs. Want to be sure the system you're repairing or installing is running efficiently? Then test it with Testo. Heating, cooling, air quality, electrical, and more. If it can be measured, it should be measured with precision with Testo instrumentation. Testo is a world leader, headquartered right here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. For accurate results, ask for Testo by name. To see Testo's full line of measurement instruments, products, and job site solutions, visit Testo.com. That's Testo.com. Testo. Be sure.
Esporta Fitness is a new sports club with premium fitness amenities starting at just $9.99 a month. A personal fitness journey should never be compromised, and Esporta Fitness gives you access to a workout community that will push you and state-of-the-art amenities to inspire you, all for a super low price. Get a free 3-day pass to an Esporta Fitness near you at welcometoesportafitness.com. That's welcometoesportafitness.com. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 a month. Start today.
Want to play table games with live dealers but can't go to the casino? BetRivers Online Casino has you covered with their new live casino feature. Now you can play blackjack, roulette, and more live with a real dealer on your computer or phone. The action is as real as being at the casino and as exciting as ever. Live casino is just another reason to love BetRivers Online Casino. Go to betrivers.com today and play with the winner.
Presented by Rivers Casino Philadelphia. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Mike Miss
Jason Ellie here for Landis Block and Concrete. There is nothing like having a beautiful backyard. Think of how many things you can do with it. You can sit outside on a nice little patio, have a nice glass of wine, have a few friends over to cook on your Landis Block outdoor kitchen. Turn your backyard into a personal paradise with Landis Block. They're the resource center for all outdoor living. All you need is imagination, space, and a budget. Check out the photo gallery at landisbc.com. That's landisbc.com for Landis Block, jaw-dropping outdoor paradises.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an N. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
Want the same internet but more privacy? DuckDuckGo's got you covered. They help millions of people like you get privacy online without any trade-offs. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's 12:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. It's a football Monday, and Football Mondays on The Fanatic brought to us by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. Now, just kind of reset what we've talked about today. It's no shock what we're talking about today. We're talking about the Eagles. And the Eagles win over the Washington football team yesterday, which was step 1 to making the playoffs. Got some help, of course. The 49ers winning yesterday was step 2. It was either the Niners winning or the Panthers beating the Saints. And the Niners won. The Saints ended up coming back and beating the Panthers. So we needed the Vikings to lose yesterday without Kirk Cousins in Lambeau Field when the Packers were trying to lock in the top seed to get the bye week in the NFC. So I knew that was happening. So really, before the Packers game kicked off, because I was on until 8 o'clock yesterday doing post game. Normally we're on until 7. We did a little extended edition yesterday. We were on until 8 o'clock. I was home because I live in Manayunk. Nobody was on the roads at 8 o'clock on a Sunday. And plus we break at like 7:55. I was home well before kickoff. Packers, Vikings. I had a beer in celebration that the Eagles made the playoffs prior to the game even kicked off.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
There was no way that Sean Mannion was going to walk into Lambeau Field and beat the Packers when the Packers were still playing for something.
Yeah, the only way that it would have been possible if Dalvin Cook went for 250 and 4 touchdowns.
I saw so many tweets, and I understood why, but I saw so many tweets. We're all Packers fans tonight. Go, Pack, go. And I was just like, yeah, you don't even have to tweet that. They're not going to lose. I saw so many of those tweets. I was like, don't worry about it. You don't even have to watch the game.
I had a couple of those tweets.
I know you did. I saw it.
I stayed up. I watched till halftime.
I watched the whole game. Oh, well, you have morning.
Yeah.
I was up till the entire game, and I was just like, all right, game over. I watched Sean Mond or whatever the hell his name, Kellen Mond, whatever the hell his name is, almost throwing in a pick 6. I was like, yeah, this game's over. But hey.
You want to know something funny? I think that's the second time in 4 seasons that the Vikings have played the Eagles into the playoffs. Because the year of the double doink, Minnesota went to Chicago. Now, Chicago wasn't playing for anything because they had that great year, but they needed to beat Chicago to get the Eagles in, and they ended up doing that. Or it was either the other way around. Chicago might have had to beat Minnesota. Either way, Minnesota was part of that game in the double doink year, I'm pretty sure, that got the Eagles in.
Let me just confirm that, because it was crazy. I remember I was doing watch parties. Eagles watch parties for the station at a casino in the area, and everybody stuck around. It was the Eagles.
What was that, 2018?
Yeah, the Eagles beat the Washington football team 24-0.
Right.
Let's see, I think Nick Foles was 28 of 33 that day. 221, 2 touchdowns and a pick. How about your leading rusher? Can you guess who it was?
No chance.
You saw him yesterday.
Oh, Wendell Smallwood.
Wendell Smallwood. 12 carries, 53 yards was your leading rusher. Second behind Smallwood with 50 yards on the ground was the pride of Notre Dame, Josh Adams.
Oh, of course.
With 50 yards. I didn't hate him. I thought he was a decent third back.
For what he was, he was
third,
bad.
like Jordan Howard. He's a younger Jordan Howard. Bruiser, big body kind of guy. Wasn't going to rush for 2,000 yards like he did in Notre Dame. But yeah, so the Eagles won 24-0. And even though the Eagles and Bears game was going on at the same time, the Eagles game ended sooner. So we all stuck around to see the finale of the Bears-Vikings. The Bears were the team that needed to win for the Eagles to get in. Bears won 24-10. Because I remember the storyline was, maybe Matt Nagy will help out his old pal Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
And they'll get that win even though they didn't need it for anything. I don't think they
didn't need the win. And if they won, they were going to have to play the Eagles.
Yes.
And then got eliminated by the Birds the next week.
With the double doink. And the Minnesota Vikings fell to 8-7-1.
Bottom line, though, thank you again, Minnesota. Thanks for the NFC Championship game and dancing on the Rocky statue or whatever dumb stuff you were doing that day.
Stupid fans.
Thank you for 2018 and thank you for last night.
It's crazy that 2017, I still can't help but think, would the Eagles have beaten the Saints?
Stop.
I don't know. I'm just saying, would they have? But then the Minnesota Miracle happens, and it was just like, all right, giddy up.
That year was a whole miracle.
Yeah, I know.
Like every second of that.
I know it was. Now they were talented.
Are we due for another one?
The Eagles team was very, very talented that year. And I know things worked out in their favor. Keanu Neal bounced off his knee right to Torrey Smith. Eagles wouldn't have gotten points up at halftime. Falcons would have scored more points before halftime. All these things, right? But I think people forget that the Eagles were very talented that year.
Unbelievable.
Like, Alshon Jeffrey was younger and was like a legit number one receiver in the league. And Torrey Smith wasn't great to start the season.
Yeah, Zach Ertz was unbelievable.
He was a freak.
Nelson Aguilar had a great year.
He was awesome. The offensive line still was deep and younger. Defensive front was younger. Yeah, you had LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. You just bring in on. I remember it was Halloween, right? It was Halloween day. They make the trade. It's just like, here's
like a 6th rounder to Miami, and just it was great.
It was awesome. I was so on New Year's Eve, I was down with my parents, and the New Year's shows. I don't have to watch them anymore. It's the same thing.
I never did.
It's a couple performances. It was pretty cool seeing Ja Rule. I enjoyed that one.
You're a big Ja Rule guy?
I just because the songs came out when we were I think it was early 2000s, and I was just I remember the song when I was younger. Yeah, but we watched NFL Network had the top 100 lists, and it was the greatest plays, greatest games, greatest teams, and the Eagles were. I think the Philly Special was in the top 10. The greatest Super Bowl, Eagles Patriots, was just outside the top 10.
That's ridiculous.
It was
outside.
I think it was number 12, if I'm not mistaken. It should have been higher because
there hasn't been a Super Bowl to sniff that one's jockstrap since that game was.
No, and it's I get history and everything, but Super Bowl III was in it, the Joe Namath
Get
one.
Out of here, Super Bowl III,
and the final score was 13-7.
Yeah, they barely invented the forward pass back then.
And I hate doing this, but I always like to be as real as possible. When we were doing the playbacks during, the teeth of COVID, when the world was shut down, right? And there was no sports, which is why we did the playback, to have some sort of sports. We did the Villanova National Championship game from the 80s. I had never been more bored in my life watching that game. Now, I'm sure at the time it was awesome, and I don't want to sound sacrilegious when it comes to sports, right? But it was dribble, 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 pass. Dribble, 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 pass. Dribble, 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 dribble. Ooh, this guy might be open inside. Bounce pass. Oh, no, he's not. Dish it back out because there was no shot clock.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I love basketball. Love it. But I'm not going to watch James Naismith play with a peach basket while he's wearing like a suit and vest and everything. Like that.
So no disrespect to Joe Namath calling the Super Bowl and walking off the field with the finger pointed in the air. I would rather watch Tom Brady and Nick Foles duke it out 500 yards both. A 41-33 final that comes down to the final play, a Hail Mary that reached the end zone, right? I'd rather come down to that than a 13-7 final when people talk about that being one of the greatest games of all time. And it was 13-7. The storyline was great. Joe Namath predicting the Super Bowl when they were not supposed to win. They were one of the AFL teams coming into the NFL. I get it. I get the history of it.
That's cool and all.
I get it.
If one team scores 7 points in the championship game,
yeah, come on, man,
get out of here with greatest game ever.
Well, I can't be there. So when I was watching the NFL Top 100 list, and they did the top 10 Super Bowls, and they did the quick recap of 100 to 11, and the Eagles came in at number 12, and then I saw Super Bowl 3, and I was like, And it was greatest games. Sorry, not greatest Super Bowls because there's not 100 Super Bowls. It was greatest games. So they had like there were better NFC Championship games than Super Bowl 3.
Yeah,
whatever. I don't want to sound like a creep. You know, I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you don't respect the history of the game."
Yeah, there's some 75-year-old guy in New York that's a Jets fan that caught our signal. It's like, what are these guys talking
listen, that's fine. Like, you know.
Right, we're going to be the same way in like 2070 when people are like, oh, man, that game sucks. They're running up like 100 each now. Nick Foles who? And we're going to lose our minds. So
yeah. It's whatever.
It is what it is.
Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Nick in Collegeville. What's up, Nick?
Tunis. Happy New Year's.
Am I being sacrilegious when it comes to the history of sports there?
In my day, I used to love 3 yards in a cloud of dust. No. I grew up Cunningham. Like, I just remember. Right. I remember Ron.
But like, you got to be honest with me. It's kind of ridiculous. I get the history and everything that went around it, but when we're talking about the game itself, you're telling me Super Bowl 3, where it was like 13-7 was the final, is a top 10 game all time.
That's insane. It probably ran like a total of 27 plays. It's insane. I mean, you're right. When you did the playback and you did a couple of those NFL games where maybe you were just born, but you could barely, you could probably barely hold like a dinky, a biggie.
Yeah.
Like when you guys did those playbacks, I'm going, wow, these offenses were so boring. And forget about analytics, but they couldn't even do basic math and go, oh, if we run the ball 3 times, if we kneel 3 times, we don't have to punt the football.
Right.
It's insane. Anyway, Connor, great hat.
Thank you.
Poor sewage take, dude.
Yeah, dude, that was.
I'm not pro sewage.
That was gross.
Well, let me just say, there's a couple things. There's clean water, which is stuff you drink out of the sink that's clear. There's what you talk about, they call potable water, where like you have a well, it's slightly contaminated. You can't drink out of it, but you can fill your pool or wash your hands with it. Then there's gray water, which is dishwasher stuff coming out of dishwasher. Like if you wash your dishes in the sink, that's like they call that gray water. It's these actual terms. Okay, where it's not filthy, it's just slightly used water. And then there's sewage, okay? Dude, drunk dudes drinking beer, yelling and screaming, eating hoagies and nachos, and then going to the WTF bathroom? Like, you want some of that stuff, aren't you?
You have some water?
Yeah, come on, Connor.
Dude,
anyway. Connor.
Listen, I love VT Ron. VT Ron is a classic caller. I thought it was great to hear from him. Happy New Year's to him and all the other regular callers. But I don't want to see Dallas Cowboys. Like, I don't want our game to mean anything. Like, I don't care what Dallas does. Everybody should sit that can sit on our squad. For real. I don't need to win a Dallas Cowboy game at home. For real. I don't care.
Well, he wasn't even just saying that. He was just saying that the Eagles are close to the Dallas Cowboys in terms of talent.
Yeah, and he said he would like to see, like, Dallas is kind of playing for something, and he would like to see the Eagles start their players. I don't need to see any of that. I don't care. They can start the all-star Dallas team from the last 20 years. We should be starting you, me, Connor, and what's her name that's taking the phone calls?
Haley.
Punter, Haley, right. And then whoever else is left in the office.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I do that. Protect the birds at all costs. I mean,
yeah.
Unless you care about seeding, unless you care about 6th or 7th seed and who they're playing in the first round.
Well, I heard a good take, which was like, you really don't know. Even if you try to bump up yourself to get to a better seeding, you can't control what the other teams are doing.
Right, because the Rams and Bucks are both 12-4. So one of them, right. I mean, that could change. The Rams play. Let me see who the Rams have next week. And then I know the Rams are the 49ers. Yeah, Rams are the 49ers. And then let's see who the Bucs have.
So you might try to win that game to position yourself for, say, the Rams, but the Rams might lose and end up being a wild card team anyway.
Yeah, Bucs have the Panthers, so the Bucs, let's just say that's a win.
Look, there's no easy game. You really don't want to see. I mean, you don't want to see the Rams. You don't want to see. I mean, if I have to see Bradford, I'll see Bradford over TB and over.
You mean Stafford? Not Bradford. Oh, God.
It's just Stafford, yeah. I wish Ram. Bradford, right? Yeah. So, guys, great show. Happy New Year's to all you guys.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate the call, man. I'm sure we'll be talking again later on this week. Yeah. You know, when people do the whole, I'm not afraid of any of the teams, I'm not saying I'm afraid because I'm playing with house money here. But, I don't want to get too cocky now.
We can be afraid. We're not playing in the game. I don't think the Eagles should be afraid of anybody. But me sitting here,
no, because
I'd be a little nervous if they play the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But as I said, do you have the Jason Kelce thing ready? So I played this last night, and I'll play it again today. Jason Kelce basically explains how that locker room is feeling right now because it doesn't matter. Even if a caller says, I'm not afraid of the Buccaneers, well, you probably should be, but it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what the players in the locker room think. And Jason Kelce basically just sums it up perfectly, and we'll get to it in a second. Because I said this going back, I'll go all the way back to the Panthers game. The Eagles beat the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. This is before the Panthers completely fell apart in the season. But the Eagles didn't play well that game. Like I said, Carolina lost that game. The Eagles were able to stick around, and they ended up winning that game. And I gave them credit for coming back and winning, but that was an ugly game. And I remember saying on the air during the postgame show, man, that was ugly. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done to improve this team. However, I know for a fact that in the locker room, they don't care what I think. They think that they went on the road and they beat a team that's supposed to be better than them in the Carolina Panthers, and they're probably fired up. Same way with these division games. It doesn't matter to me. Well, I say it matters to me, but they don't care that they beat Garrett Gilbert and Jake Fromm. You know how they look at it? Hey, we beat our divisional opponents. We beat the Washington football team twice in 13 days. That's how the locker room's looking at it, and Jason Kelce pretty much sums it up perfectly.
The high school, nobody gave me a scholarship offer, and I was at a weird place in my life where I didn't know what to do. But I decided to ask my parents if I could walk on. I didn't want to play at a smaller school. I wanted to try and play Division I football. So I think I'm good enough to do that. I'm going to go do that. And they said, we'll make it work. So I went to an in-state college, cheaper tuition, Cincinnati. And then again, they told me I wasn't good enough. So I got drafted, but everyone said I was too small. I didn't have what it takes. I earned the starting spot my first year. Again, 2016. Everybody in the city is ready to trade. They'll trade me for a washing machine. They didn't want my ass here anymore. They thought I was done. The only person who wanted me, for the most part, was Jeff Stoutland. And I'll never forget that. We are all so much better than you fucking realize. The human mind is fucking incredible. The human body, passion, will is so fucking powerful. Everyone here is here for a fucking reason. All of you have talent. All of you have value to this organization. And I've seen this grow. When we play our game, nobody can with us. I promise you. It ain't about them, it's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us, I promise you. I promise you. So go out there and play every play, locked in. Just focus, persistence. Don't matter what happened the last play. Don't matter what happened, good or bad. I don't care if you said a 99-yard touchdown. We line it up, do it again. What's my job? Where am I at? Who am I working with? Who do I need to talk to? If we just focus on that, every single one of us, I promise you we will whoop the out of anybody we play.
He's an absolute treasure. Jason Kelce. He is. And, I would imagine he's in the Hall of Fame. You would think.
Yes. Lock Hall of Famer.
You imagine he's in Canton at one point. Jersey retired, I would hope.
Absolutely.
Jersey never retired in Philadelphia. I would really hope so. I mean, the dude is an absolute stud, right, on the field. But that's what I'm talking about. I can sit here for 4 hours and talk about how the Eagles beat Garrett Gilbert a few weeks ago. But I also said, hey, I know that they don't look at it that way. So the Eagles, for everybody, on the YouTube chat, callers, social media, hell, me, because I don't think they win in the first round of the playoffs, because I go, hey, they're just not there yet. I'm not saying they won't be in a few years. I just don't think they're there yet. But I look at it and I go, all right, yeah, they may have beaten nobody to get to this position. Washington twice, the New York Giants once when Jake Fromm was the quarterback, the Jets, the Denver Broncos weren't as good as what we thought they would be. The Detroit Lions. All right, you look at the wins that they had this year, the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints. You look at the wins they had this year. They didn't beat the Chargers and the Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys the first time around. They didn't beat those top teams in the NFL. But that's not how they look at it. Like, Jason Kelce's not making a speech going, great job beating the teams that are bad. Like, he's not doing that speech. He's saying, hey, we're better than what we think we are. And it doesn't matter what the people on the outside are saying. He's right. And that's how their mentality should be going into the playoffs, man.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
The worst thing that could happen is if they get destroyed next week.
But even if they do, they weren't supposed to be here.
Right. No, what I'm saying is in terms of like a mental standpoint going into the game, like into the playoff game.
Oh, you mean get destroyed against Dallas?
Yeah.
Who cares? They're going to sit everybody.
I would hope so.
So then who cares?
Do you think they do that?
Yes. They didn't play anybody all preseason when they needed the snaps. You think they're going to do it now?
I wonder what they do. It'll be interesting to see what they do this week. Like, does Hurts at least get a half?
No.
I just wonder, because remember, if you go back to the Super Bowl year, they played Foles the first half against the Cowboys week 17, last game of the season. And they already had the ones he locked up. Now, different scenario, Nick Foles had just started a couple games because Carson Wentz got hurt. So maybe they were like, all right, we got to get some more reps with Foles in there.
Also, there were people, I don't know what the narrative inside the locker room was. I'm sure they're confident in Foles, but there's a good contingent of people that were like, oh, Sudfeld might be the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't, let's go, Nick Foles, this is our guy, let's run with it.
There was a lot of people that were high on Sudfeld, and I remember saying you just have to go with Foles just because he's been in the league,
Right.
You got to do it. But yeah, I remember when Sudfeld came in that Cowboys game, I think people wanted to see if he'd tear apart the Cowboys defense, and then he didn't. And then it was like, oh yeah, let's go with Foles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Does Gardner Minshew play all 4 quarters?
He better, dude.
Or does he play a half and then whatever the hell the guy they signed to the practice squad, does he get a second half? It'll be interesting to see.
We talked about not being scared of anybody, but the guy that wears number 11 for the Cowboys right now, I don't want Jalen Hurts to be on the same field as him if he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, that's true. We'll find out. I mean, this week will be interesting. Sirianni will give an answer at some point. He speaks today, 2:45. I doubt that he gives any sort of answer today, but he'll give one either on Wednesday or Friday. We'll find out. 610-632-0975. 1 o'clock hour coming up. We will continue the Eagles conversation as we should be celebrating the Eagles' playoff berth. I know there was a lot of people a few weeks ago when I was doing the show. I asked for basically the vibe of the Eagles fans, and 46% of the people that voted on the poll, it was a combination of some sort of not that excited. There was 3 options. It was, I know they're not going to win the Super Bowl. I want them to lose, so Howie Roseman gets fired. And the third was, I wish they had a better draft pick. But 46% of the people that voted were kind of not excited for a playoff push. Now that they are in the playoffs, has that changed? I want to hear from you. 610-632-0975 as we enter the final hour on the Midday Show. Anthony Gargano will be back tomorrow. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for Anthony right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Rob Jenners, and I am a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I've been living my dream doing sports radio for about 20 years now, and CSB trains you in all levels of media: broadcast, digital, TV, radio, podcasting, and even includes job placement assistance. Learn from expert instructors like me in just about 8 to 16 weeks. We're not talking about months or years, and it's all VA approved. Find a campus near you. Visit GoCSB.com.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I'm Taylor Morgan, a proud CSB grad. The instruction from true media pros and the connections that I made spawned a career that's lasted more than 30 years. What you can learn in just 2 to 4 months at CSB Media Arts Center can set you on a whole new path. Train on site or online with classes in radio, TV, podcasting, video, all that is media. There's a campus in nearby Cherry Hill. Get your start. Visit GoCSB.com.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. FanDuel could be your ticket to, listen to this, the Super Bowl. Refer a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge, and you'll be entered for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for 2. Just share your exclusive referral link from the app. And once you refer a friend, place a bet of $10 or more, and you'll both get $50 and be entered in the Super Bowl sweepstakes. This is why I love FanDuel. They are always doing great things. They always have great odds promotions, odds boost. You can win same-game parlay, big money bets, but the best part of this all, you can get a trip to the Super Bowl. This is fantastic. Just sign up with promo code FANATIC for your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That's promo code FANATIC and download that FanDuel app. Refer a friend for your chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl.
21 plus and present in PA. Void where prohibited. Restrictions and wager requirements apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. No purchase necessary for the Super Bowl ticket promotion. Super Bowl promotion ends 1/9/22. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Team Liquid has re-signed their hottest CSGO player, Naf, through 2024. With over $1 million in prize money earned in his career, the 24-year-old Canadian averages $145,000 in earnings per year. That's not a bad pool of cash considering professional soccer players in the MLS have a median salary of $200,000 and train considerably harder.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, radio has been called theater of the mind, so let's tell a story with sound effects. Wow, it's like I was in the story. Almost makes me forget this was supposed to be about saving big with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I've been asked 1,000 times, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. When I started, there were just 2 of us. Today, Morgan & Morgan has almost 800 lawyers alone. No injury firm in the country has anywhere close to that. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Reputation matters. We grew like this because we worked hard and so many former clients referred family and friends. And what I believe is the main reason is we delivered for our clients a lot. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Hope is not a plan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hun, looks like the neighbor's kid hit a home run into our windshield.
Better call the insurance company.
We have the one with the leopard mascot, right?
No, it's a tiger.
Doesn't it have spots?
A cheetah?
Maybe it was Stripes.
Some insurance companies are known for their mascots. At NJM, we're known for a straightforward claims experience our customers love.
Just called them. It's a cougar, and we're not covered.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit NJM.com to see if you could save up to 20% on your auto insurance.
You are an electric vehicle. It's true. Electricity powers your heart. Want to feel your heartbeat faster? Drive an electric car. Made by Nissan, a company whose EVs have gone 5 billion miles. Built for every driveway, every highway, and every speedway. And where the loudest sound is the beat of your electric heart. Nissan. Electric cars for electric drivers. 5 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now. You know, because it's the future, and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, it's Rich Gannon, and one of the things I love most about my Parx Sportsbook app is that it's not just about the teams. The Parx Sportsbook app knows that you love to follow players. That's why they offer lots of action and so many different ways to bet on individual player performances. Plus, with live in-game betting and wildly popular same-game parlays. Sign up now and just download the app and get your first bet risk-free, up to $500. Go to parxcasino.com/PA and use my promo code Philly.
The website has all the terms and conditions. You must be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tired of being tracked online? DuckDuckGo can help. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
1 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz one more day. Anthony will be back tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing my man Anthony back to react to the Eagles making the playoffs. I'm excited to hear how he feels. I know he was fired up yesterday. He said he felt weird that he wasn't coming in today. So I'm sure he's excited to come in tomorrow, and we'll talk about the Eagles' victory over the Washington football team and the Eagles' playoff berth. Even though yesterday still wasn't all that pretty, but that's pretty much been the story of the season. Like, this season hasn't been pretty. Who cares? They're here now. Like, the fact that they're here when I did not expect them to has added to my excitement. Which is why I ask you now for the final hour, 1 o'clock hour, at 610-632-0975. Where were you just 3 weeks ago? And, maybe I'll put up a Marvin E. Cans poll today on the midday count for it.
I think I was here.
Yeah, were you?
I believe so.
Did you feel the need to say that? To derail me? You felt the need to say that?
I'm sorry. Continue.
What am I forget what I'm talking about now.
Where were you 3 weeks ago?
I know. 3 weeks ago. So I put out this poll on December the 23rd. It's what I was just talking about before we went into break. And it was after the Eagles beat the Washington football team the first time with Garrett Gilbert. Now, Connor, listen to this for a second. I asked, are you fully on board when it comes to excitement for the current playoff push? And a couple of people called in and explained their reasons why they weren't. So then I ended up turning it into a poll of the day. And I asked which one fits best for you. The first option was, what are you talking about? I'm fired up. So there you go. The next three, I want a better draft pick. They aren't winning the Super Bowl. And the final was lose out, fire Howie. Because my man Tech was saying that a lot. And only 54% said, what are you talking about? I'm fired up. It was then a combination. The other three, 46% weren't fired up for the playoff push. That was just 3 weeks ago. That was December 23rd. The Eagles are now in the playoffs. So has that changed? I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl. But that's not going to cloud my excitement.
No.
I don't understand why that hurts other people's excitement. Because here's the deal. If I had expected them, they're going to the Super Bowl this year, right? And they finished 9-7 or 9-8 because it was the extra game, or 10-7, and it was as ugly as it was. Yeah, sure. Going into the playoffs, I'd say, hey, I'm fired up, but it kind of stinks because this is not where I thought they would be. I thought they'd be 13-4. But the fact that I thought they were going to go 6-11, and it's the other way around, right? I thought they were going to go 6-11. They could possibly go 10-7. I don't have Super Bowl expectations, but I'm taking each week as an absolute gift because that's what it is. December was a gift for me when it came to my Eagles fandom. The month of December was a gift because I thought they were going to be out in November. I don't understand why that's clouding people's excitement.
There's one thing that always kind of pops up, regardless of the team, regardless of the sport, around this time where the playoff push is coming for a team Not like the 2017 Eagles. Not like the 2008 Phillies or the 01 Sixers, even though they didn't win it. Where you get to this point and it's like the team doesn't really have that championship edge, but they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think there's a natural human defense mechanism, whether people are going to admit it to themselves or not. The higher the stakes, the more it hurts when the team loses. And not being as fired up or not allowing yourself to get as fired up, I think is a lot of people's defense mechanism for hurting really bad if, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just crush your hopes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If the Eagles lose to the Buccaneers, you're going to be crushed?
No, I'm not. I'm just...
No, but for the people that you're talking about, like...
The higher the stakes, the more it's going to hurt.
I'm going to be crushed when the season's over. Because I've enjoyed it the last month, right? Like the fact that they went from 2-5 to 9-7. But, like, is there anyone that... If they lose to the Buccaneers... Now, if they lose 40-3, okay, like I'd be pissed off, but like if they fall to the Buccaneers, like it's not like I'm gonna be like, man, it's tough to be a Philly sports fan.
Yeah, it depends how they lose, and the thing is, it's also relative to what this season was supposed to be. This is supposed to be like a 6-win season, a 7-win season, and it wasn't. Right around 500. That's the apathy zone. We're just like, okay, the Eagles are on. They're all right. They're not terrible. They're rebuilding. And that's a lot easier to cope with than, hey, man, I might start believing in this team, and the second you let yourself believe in them, they lose in the wild card round. Like, I think there's a bit of a defense mechanism
but what is
against getting
believe?
fired up.
Like, what is believe? Like, I don't believe anything with the Eagles. Hey, they're in the playoffs, and that is far better than what I thought they would be. Like, right. I just don't understand. Is there anybody that's actually sitting here right now going, man, NFC Championship game or bust?
Dude, hey,
last year with the Sixers, okay, I said finals or bust. And I was heartbroken and pissed off and totally disinterested in sports for like a week. I, like Anthony, I did watch the Hawks-Bucks series because I wanted to see the Bucks win, which they did, and that kind of helped. But Anthony didn't even watch the series because he couldn't see that damn Hawks team. I understood it. But, like, if the Buccaneers beat the Eagles in round one, I can't watch that Bucks game next week. It's too gross for me.
Yeah, but that's what fired up is to some people, I feel like. If you're fired up, it's like, I'm all in on this team. Not that you're expecting them to win the Super Bowl, but you're prepared for that. Like, that type of, like, looking for a run.
Yeah, but, like, leading up to whenever they play. Now, I could be in Florida for it, which kind of stinks. And I really hope they don't play on Saturday.
Seems like they're going to play on Saturday.
I know. For people wondering, I'm going to a wedding. Now, here's the good sign. I was at the wedding in Colorado when the Sixers won Game 6. I was back home when they lost.
Okay, so you've got to go to this wedding. You got to hope it's Saturday. Your good luck is the wedding.
And I watched the game on the phone. I was given the okay from the wife, which I was shocked that it was allowed. Now, it also helped that she was one of the bridesmaids, so it's not like I was like with her during the beginning portions of the wedding. So, man, it's going to be a tough predicament if they play on Saturday. I'm going to have to find a way to watch it.
Thoughts and prayers. I could just text you updates. That'll be the best.
No, I can't do that.
What a play.
I can't do that.
Did you see that catch?
I can't do that. But maybe it'll be good luck if I'm also away again for another game, another playoff game. But, like, let's say, forget the wedding. Let's say I was home. Like, I would get fired up for that playoff game, even if my expectations weren't that high. I would still get fired up. It's an Eagles playoff game.
Right, but if you get fired up, for some people, that means you're putting yourself at risk of the big fall. And some people don't want to do that. Some people have been beaten down by despite the Super Bowl. Yes,
but they shouldn't be here.
I agree.
I don't get that.
I agree with you. I'm trying to rationalize what they're saying.
All right, then I need if you are one of these people that Connor Thomas is explaining and talking about, I need to hear from you at 610-632-0975. Because to me, I don't get it.
Here's the thing. and this is not me trying to cover these people don't exist.
No, please. I want to hear from you.
It's hard for people to admit that to themselves, that they're scared of that, so they don't want to get as invested in the team. But it happens every year when teams get close to this. People are scared of the playoff failure. They're scared of buying in on a team and being wrong.
Then stop.
Don't
watch sports anymore.
Okay.
Go knit. Don't watch sports. Oh, I'm afraid they're going to lose.
What if one of your knitting sticks breaks? That could be heartbreak, too.
Buy another one. You don't have to wait a whole year to see them in the playoffs again. I just don't get it. I'm as much as a fan as the next guy, but I don't have Super Bowl aspirations, so if they lose in round 1, it's going to suck.
And I'm
not going to, I can't go to work this week. They shouldn't be here right now, and they are, and that to me is freaking amazing. And we should take joy in that alone.
Listen, I agree. You're preaching to the choir here. But you asked, why do people feel this way? And that is the narrative that I think is part of the reason why some people feel that way.
By the way, Ryan messages on the YouTube, grow up and stop going to weddings. I wish.
What? You mean grow up and stop going to weddings?
I agree with him.
Is that a grown-up thing to not attend weddings?
No, I just agree with him.
I like a good wedding.
And Jimmy E goes, it feels like Tunis is in a wedding every other week.
Well, you're a popular guy.
No, it's not even that. It's these weddings fall on the worst days. Colorado wedding was the day of the Game 6 of the NBA playoffs, Sixers-Hawks. My wedding, I was supposed to go to Miami with Philly sports trips to see the Eagles take on the Dolphins. Kind of happy I didn't go to that game because that was disgusting how that game went.
You didn't want to watch Devontae Parker score 3 times?
No. My own best man booked a wedding on a Sunday during football season. And fortunately, the Eagles ended up playing Monday night against the Cowboys. It just so happened, because remember, the wedding was booked before the schedule came out. It just so happened that the Eagles played Monday night that week. And now this one's supposed to be Saturday the 14th, or Saturday the 15th, which could be when the Eagles play.
Yeah, it's just unlucky. You should bring them a calendar for their wedding gift. Hey, this whole 4 or 5 month period where football's being played, off limits.
Well, the wedding was booked well before the Eagles were a playoff team. They were 2-5.
How about March? March is nice.
I agree. This could be tough. Dan in Drexel Hill. Dan, you're on the Fanatic. What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's up? It's actually Stan.
Oh, what's up, Stan? What's going on, man?
How you doing, bro? Listen, first of all, Connor, you bathing around in some doo-doo water. That's not, I'm not.
Man, I've never once been in the doo-doo water.
Dude,
sorry, bro.
If you're just tuning in, tuning in, because this is the second caller that's brought it up, we were talking about the FedEx Field fiasco where the Eagles fans fell down the other day, and I talked about that place being a dump, including the sewage water. And Connor Thomas said, and I quote, "Forget about the sewage water. You just get a little wet and a little dirty. The fence thing, whoa, a little dirty. It's poop water."
I'm taking one for the team. They're crushing Jalen Hurts.
Stan, it's poop.
Killing him.
He said, it's a little poop on me. Think about that. If he changed the water from sewage water, the words from sewage water to poop, come on, man.
That was disgusting. And nobody wants a little bit of any type of poop on them. So I don't want to hear none of that.
Except Odell.
Second of all, whoever y'all got answering the phone, she is just lovely.
Haley, yeah, she's the best.
She is great. I said thank you, and she clicked over, and then she came back, and she was like, "Oh, you're welcome." I was like, I like this girl.
Yeah, she's very nice, and she's real. People didn't think she was real because the holiday wheel.
That's dope. I like that. But real quick on the Eagles. Listen, I'm one of those few people that actually had them winning 9 games this season. And the reason why is because I had them going 4-2 in the division because I thought, besides the Cowboys, I still thought the Eagles were better than those other teams. I actually had them splitting with the Cowboys because I thought the last game of the season was going to be meaningless, so the Eagles would probably be able to steal that. I had them splitting with Washington and beating the Giants because it's the Giants. I just had that wrong. But then you go around. I picked them to beat Denver. I picked them to beat New Orleans because even before Jameis Winston, that 30 for 30, you don't never know what Jameis Winston you're going to get.
Right.
So I figured playing in Philadelphia, hey, I thought the Eagles could steal that game. It's not that I said, oh, they're locks. It's just when you asked me, when I looked at that schedule, I'm saying, yeah, I think this is a winnable game. Carolina, I thought all those were winnable games. So when you get to 9, I'm sitting here kind of looking around y'all really said 4 and 5 and 6. Jeez, like I understand that the Eagles aren't great.
The game I was wrong with the most was Washington, because I thought the Washington football team, I thought the Cowboys were going to be a lock to win the division. I was saying that from the beginning. And I thought they would. I thought they'd lose both games, because I thought that Week 18 game would matter for Dallas, because I thought they were going to fight for that top seed. Dak Prescott getting hurt, obviously that changes things a little bit. And then I thought Washington would actually sweep the Eagles, because I thought, that defense. The defense did not play really well. Forget Chase Young getting hurt. The Washington football defense was not as good as what we expect them to be coming into the season. And I thought Fitzpatrick or Heineke would be able to do enough to put up points for Washington to win. So I thought they would lose both games to Washington, both games to Dallas, and I thought they'd split with New York. And fortunately, that's not the case. Fortunately, they took care of business.
Yeah, and it's not one of those like, oh, I can't believe y'all really. Like, it's just one of those like, I don't know. Like I look at things, I guess, in a more like playing the Bucs. I had that as an L, right?
Right.
Playing KC, I had that as an L. Playing even Oakland, I had that as an L. So I had a lot of things where it's like, okay, no, you know where you at. I just felt like the Eagles were closer to some of these other teams than they got credit for at the time.
Yeah, I remember before the season started.
I wasn't blown away by anything. Sam Darnold,
I thought the Eagles would win against Carolina, and they did.
And they did, yeah.
When we did the W's and L's, I predicted the Eagles to beat the Falcons, and that was with the 6 wins. Now, leading up to the game, you can see our predictions on the website. I did pick the Falcons the day that Friday, but before the season started, when we did our W's and L's and we got to 6 wins, I did have the Eagles beating both the Falcons and Panthers. For what you just said, I didn't think they were far off from those guys.
Right. So and now as far as what Connor makes a great point though, as far as people do that. They set the bar low so that way they're not hurt when it doesn't go.
Yeah, but I just hate
that way they can say, okay, I didn't let it off. I mean, even Mikey Misses said that. I remember when the Sixers were making that run, he was like, no, don't do that. Don't set the expectations lower now. He's like, don't be scared to get hurt. And it's the truth. Like,
yeah, we got hurt, but this is a different situation. They're not the one seed, Stan, and I appreciate the call, man. They're not the one seed.
Doesn't matter. They're still the Eagles. You still love them.
They snuck into the playoffs when they were 2-5, which is why I go house money. Just have a good time. Don't let your heart get broken.
You can say, do you hear yourself right now?
Dude, when they lose, I'm going to be upset, but it's like the way some people act, it's like, I don't want to get my hopes up or it's going to ruin the 2022 for me.
Don't let your heart get broken over the Philadelphia Eagles. You hear,
but
people, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
This is
doesn't
different.
matter if they're a one-win football team and every other team between them and the playoffs forfeits out. You can get your heart broken.
This is so different, though.
Listen, I agree with you.
You're right. There are people that 2022 will be ruined for them until the next season starts for the Eagles if they lose in the first round.
I think it's as crazy as you do. I'm just saying those people exist, and that's part of the reason why I think that poll only got, 54% said they were fired up?
Only 54% said they were fired up. And I wonder if it's changed, but still,
I'm sure it's a lot more fired up.
It has to be, because they're in the playoffs now.
But it still won't be everybody because of those people.
I just think that's crazy to go that. I don't know. I'm not saying if they lose, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be upset.
Right. No, I get you're not saying
I'll be doing post-game when the Eagles play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the LA Rams, and hopefully they win. But if they were to lose in round 1, I'll be on here and I'll be like, man, that sucks, blah, blah, blah. But I'll end up saying, but I'm just shocked that they're here, and I was happy that they made it this far.
Right, and the other thing though, it's how they lose. So you remember the year that they snuck in and they won the division, but it's the Carson Wentz throwing the trash cans year.
Yes.
Where Greg Ward had a great last couple of games, or really there was very minimal expectations.
4,000 yards without a receiver with 500.
Right, and you go into that game and you know that team's limited because of what they have skill wise, but then you play the Seahawks. And Carson.
And that was a winnable game. And he gets concussed, and then Josh McCown has to play.
All of a sudden, our hearts are broken all over again. It matters how they win. And with the Eagles, it will always be on the line for some people.
Well, I'm just saying, when I'm going into it, I'm not going to have the highest of expectations.
I agree with you there. I'm totally on board with you there. I'm just saying, the general population of the Philadelphia area that are Philadelphia Eagles fans, there's some out there that feel that way.
All right. 610-632-0975. Would love to hear from you if you're one of those Eagles fans. Now, is this Jeffrey or Jeffy in Horsham? Let's go to Jeffy or Jeffrey.
It's Jeffy.
Jesse from Horsham. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, so all these people that are going to be too hurt to watch the game, or they didn't want the Eagles to win the 3 games against the football team and the Giants, come on. That's why we watch. We want them to make the playoffs every year. We don't want too higher draft picks or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I still remember the poll I did on December 23rd. One of the responses was, well, they're not going to the Super Bowl, so it doesn't move the needle for me. And I'm like, so if they're never in the Super Bowl from here on out, like, you're not going to be excited for Eagles football?
That's what I'm saying.
They've made it to the Super Bowl twice, 3 times, 1980. They won the Super Bowl once. So you mean to tell me that one Super Bowl is enough for you to be like, well, I'm not pish posh. They made it to the playoffs? They're not that good, though.
I don't care that they beat the football team and the Giants. This is the NFL. It's not. They didn't play Cincinnati or Appalachian State.
Right.
They're still beating NFL football teams. And if you think they can't go down to Tampa and beat the Bucs, who almost got beat by the Jets, got shut out by New Orleans, I mean, come on. Who knows what's going on down there with that circus anyway?
Yeah, Antonio Brown's walking off the field without a shirt on, and apparently Ian Rappaport reported this morning that apparently Antonio Brown his ankle was bothering him, and they told him to get back into the game, and he said, no, I don't feel comfortable going out there. I'm in pain. And that's when apparently, and I'm guessing this is Antonio Brown's side of the story, they cut him on the field, and that's why he took his jersey off.
Well,
so there's a lot going on in Tampa, man.
The Antonio Brown memes on the internet have been priceless, so I want to thank him for that.
Yeah, my wife, who's not really into football, was loving the memes yesterday.
If you're too hurt by a loss in the first round of the playoffs that you don't think you can go to work or something, you got to grow up, man. It's going to be an Eagles.
We lost him.
Oh,
there he came back, buddies. Sorry, Jesse. Yeah, I'm with him. I'm not going to say the grow up part, but like, if they lose in the first round, what were you expecting? The Sixers not getting the finals last year crushed me. Or not even the Eastern Conference Finals, okay? Losing in Game 7 to the Hawks, losing a series where you had 2 major leads and blew both of them, crushed me.
That was like a pall for like a month.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Like, I didn't want to go into work the next day. Like, I remember texting Anthony like, well, I don't want to go in tomorrow. Like, and it's because we're fans. Like, we're Sixers fans. We're sports fans. So, like, I'm blessed to have this job. But I, like you, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Sixers fan. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Flyers fan. So when the Sixers have a colossal disappointment, like they did in Game 7 or in that series in general, I, like you, was crushed, and I didn't want to talk about it. Like, I wanted to ignore life. But no, I came in, talked about it. If the Eagles lose to the Buccaneers, I'm not going to fire Sirianni. Like, that call's coming.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. I'm not advocating for these people. I think they're nuts. I think anyone who's scared of this opportunity is crazy. But they exist. It's part of the fan base, and it's not just Philadelphia. I think part of the past of Philadelphia and the past of the Eagles and the kind of cursed nature that this fan base has felt at times plays into it, but happens everywhere.
Yeah. It does. I know.
What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. Those people are going to exist, and it's up to the rest of the fan base to be fired up in spite because this is a great opportunity.
Now, let me ask you, what are you believing with the Antonio Brown story? So Rappaport said this morning that he didn't want to go in the game. He himself told the coaches his ankle hurts.
Yeah.
They tried getting him back in the game. He refused, so apparently they cut him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Now, I can't for the life of me believe a coach, you're in the middle of a game. I can't believe his mindset would be, you're cut. But maybe he said, fine, then you don't want to play to go to the locker room. Maybe he said something like that.
Yeah. I saw a report about him saying, like, Arians telling him to get out or whatever or something like that, whether that's, like, get out of the game for good. I don't know. Here's what I'll say. And the track record response is not an exact science. Because even people who have done crazy things in the past, it doesn't mean that everything they do is crazy. But the track record that Antonio Brown has, and other incidents from his time in the NFL and off the field makes him harder to believe.
Yeah.
And the fact that he left the field doing like the jumping jacks and everything.
But he may be telling, like, it may be true that they told him to leave.
Right.
But then
the injuries thing seems weird to
don't
me.
know.
I lean more to the side of the team and the coach and what they're saying, but that's based on the track record, which really does not necessarily have an effect here.
But then you say, I hope everything's all right, because even Tom Brady during the press conference said, like, listen, we got to be uplifting here because there's a lot going on. And
yes.
That's when you then say, I hope everything's all right with him upstairs because...
Right. Was it objectively a funny moment in a vacuum? Yes. But when you take a step back, you got to understand the implications for a man who is a human being who's dealt with a lot, whether or not it's his fault.
To take his jersey off and...
Right.
Middle of the game. It wasn't even like a timeout.
No.
It was third down.
That was a wild, wild scene.
They were lining up to play. It was on the field. There was a security guard. One of the reports was a security guard was ready to go tackle him because he thought it was a fan. 610-632-0975. We got another segment coming up. Glenn and Dan will get to your calls. I'll explain everything that's coming your way after our program today, coming your way at 2 o'clock. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. We'll be back tomorrow right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Thibault in the corner for three. Yes, it's good, Matisse Thibault.
Sixers, Rockets, tonight at 7. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me. 40 days up to 40 pounds. That's how much you could lose when you join NJ Diet, because NJ Diet only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. Now, since NJ Diet is a contractually guaranteed money-back program, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. NJ Diet is 100% tailored to you by using bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. 40 days up to 40 pounds can be a real thing. Unlike other weight loss systems, NJ Diet is all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods, and no surgery. With offices close by in Princeton, Cherry Hill, and King of Prussia, or from home with live online video consultations. Call them now, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Whether you run your local bookstore or the neighborhood boutique that everyone loves, small businesses like yours make gift giving possible. Now, Comcast Business has a gift for you. Introducing the sale you don't want to miss, the Gift of Savings Sale. For a limited time, ask how to get a great deal for your business. You can get a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle and free installation when you buy online and switch to Comcast Business with a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. That's $650 to spend on whatever your business needs. Or if you want another way to save, you can get started with internet and advanced security for $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. So give your business the gift of savings today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Prepaid offer ends 1/3/22. Call or go online for details.
BC Powder knows life pushes us to the max. Work to the max. Family to the max. It can all mean pain to the max. So BC introduces new BC Max Strength. New BC Max relieves tough headaches and body pain at the speed of powder. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Pain to the max? New BC Max. In a great tasting lemonade flavor.
Hey, it's Mike Missinelli here for Landis Block and Concrete. There is nothing like having a beautiful backyard. Think of how many things you can do with it. You can sit outside on a nice little patio, have a nice glass of wine, have a few friends over to cook on your Landis Block outdoor kitchen. Turn your backyard into a personal paradise with Landis Block. They're the resource center for all outdoor living. All you need is imagination, space, and a budget. Check out the photo gallery at landisbc.com. That's landisbc.com for Landis Block, jaw-dropping outdoor paradises.
Esporta Fitness is a new sports club with premium fitness amenities starting at just $9.99 a month. A personal fitness journey should never be compromised, and Esporta Fitness gives you access to a workout community that will push you and state-of-the-art amenities to inspire you, all for a super low price. Get a free 3-day pass to an Esporta Fitness near you at welcometoesportafitness.com. That's welcometoesportafitness.com. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 a month. Start today.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough, I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an N. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
You know, there's so much more to owning a home than just paying the mortgage. Hey, it's John Kincaid for H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. You know, since 1985, families throughout the Delaware Valley have trusted H&H technicians because they never sell you something you don't need. And that's how they've earned more than 1,000 5-star ratings online. Being family-owned and operated, integrity is at the top of their core values list. You want fast, friendly, and local service that you can count on? Visit DelcoHVAC.com. But you can do it in Philly, South Jersey, any of the counties. DelcoHVAC.com. Send them the Kincaid's regards.
Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, is proud to be the official local casino partner of your Philadelphia 76ers. That's right, the two best brands in the region have joined together this basketball season to bring fans more fun, more wins, and more excitement. Celebrate the wins of the Sixers with Parks Casino. Parks Casino, #1 in the region. The hottest live tables, slot machines, gaming, and the best live entertainment. Visit Parks Casino and get in on the action. Must be 21 or older. Gambler problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fed up with companies selling your data? DuckDuckGo is on it. They help millions of people like you take back their privacy online. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is indeed the Anthony Gargano Show, but Anthony off for one more day. He will be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for him. Connor Thomas sitting in my seat today, working double duty today. First as the meteorologist of the morning show today. Do we have snow yet, or is that not happening?
It's perfectly clear out there. I don't know what's going on with this weather, but nothing on the ground yet.
I gotta have my mom. I'm gonna have my mom send me a photo.
South Jersey's kind of rough, so Hunter Brody, who's going to be coming in next and sitting in the host chair for the Mike Missinelli show today, he was saying he had about a 40-minute commute turned into a 2-hour one.
I hate that. That's why people. I love snow. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I like snow better than cold. If it's going to be cold, it might as well snow. The cold is just useless. The snow, you can at least like.
The cold's not giving me issues getting home.
Yeah, it was still annoying. It's still cold. My fingers hurt.
It's not giving me issues getting home. Like, I just, there was one day.
Well, you live on the hill of all hills.
Well, not even that. There was one day just me getting to Manayunk, right? Forget the hills. Just think about the distance, right? It's a 7-minute drive on a good day, all right? It took me one day an hour and 15 minutes to get home. This was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Were you walking?
No, I drove. It was
Doesn't sound fun.
So backed up. And I was like, holy, that's a 7-minute drive. And it's only because of the snow. So, listen, I'm sure I'll like the snow when the little one's born. He wants to go in the snow and play. And, I'm home.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But when people are, who actually likes the snow when you're driving to work? It's not fun. It's not fun, but I'm going to try to get a photo for my mom. You like to snowboard? Do you wear that hat when you snowboard?
I do. Right over the snowboard helmet. I go hat over the helmet.
Well, that's good work by you. By the way, I forgot to mention it's a Football Monday. Football Monday on The Fanatic, brought to us by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. Coming up on The Fanatic, you mentioned Hunter Brody. He'll be in for the Mike Missinelli show. The rest of the show is off. Mike, Tyrone, and Jen, they'll all be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But today at 2 o'clock, it's Hunter Brody and Tom Alvord. He'll be producing the show. Make sure you're listening as Nick Sirianni speaks to the media at 2:45. You and I touched on it earlier, whether or not everyone will play Saturday, because the game's now Saturday, no longer Sunday. It's Saturday night. Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys Week 18. It'll be interesting to see who plays. Does Jalen Hurts play at least a half? You're saying no, not at all.
No, see, the preseason is my immediate clue that I look back to. They played nobody.
Right.
So why would they?
Yeah, but here's the deal. Preseason, you had what? When did they have to cut down to 53? Like, they sold like 70 guys.
Right.
It's not like you call up the entire practice squad.
No, but it's a new head coach who had never seen Jalen Hurts or never coached Jalen Hurts in a game before.
Right, but what I'm saying is who is not playing, because there's only so many fill-ins.
Oh, I got you.
So, like, all right, Hurts, you put Minshew in.
Well, some guys are going to have to play. But you're going to do your best to sit everybody you can.
Like, Arcega-Whiteside gets extra snaps offensively for me.
John Hightower, call him up.
Yeah, you could do that. Does Dallas Goedert play a lot of snaps?
No.
Defensively, you can give Fletcher Cox a week off, but again, there's a lot of guys. Like, you still have to have 53 guys ready to go.
I get it, but you're basically giving these guys the day off. Playing them a quarter does not save any of these other guys. Like, you play the guys you have to, but any of your starters you can afford to sit the whole game, you sit them the whole game.
All right.
I'm not letting Rat Dallas come out here and take a cheap shot at somebody and ruin our season.
All right. Well, make sure you're listening today at 2:45 when Nick Sirianni speaks. He may give an answer as to what the Eagles are going to be doing on Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys, who's going to be playing. Brian Westbrook will join the show at 4 o'clock. And tonight at 7 o'clock, Sixers hosting the Houston Rockets. It was weird. Sixers didn't play over the weekend, which is it's strange. They're only playing, they have like a weird schedule right now where they're only playing like 3 games in like 14 days. Like, it's weird. Let's see. So the Sixers have been off since Thursday now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they beat the Nets in Brooklyn on Thursday.
They didn't play at all this weekend.
They didn't. They're playing today. They're playing Wednesday. They're playing Friday, January 7th, but then they're off until the 12th. So in 13 days, they're only playing 5 games.
I actually love that for them. Let Joel Embiid go out and get 40 every night. Rest him. Give him as much rest as he can in between games. Like, this is where, make some hay before the All-Star break.
It's just strange because then they come back. So that 5th game in the 13 days is a game against the Hornets on January 12th. Then they play on the 12th, they play on the 14th, they play on the 15th, they play on the 17th, they play on the 19th. Like, now it's back to 1 day off. I don't understand how all of a sudden they have this ridiculous gap in the schedule, but like you said, hey, let Joel Embiid eat.
I don't get it.
Sixers Rockets tonight at 7 o'clock. You would hear it right here on The Fanatic. Let's go back to the phones and talk to Dan in the Northeast. Dan, you're on The Fanatic. What's up, Dan?
Yo, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good. Merry Christmas again. We're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
A bonus Christmas present. I think this is great because, just like imagine how much information we're going to be able to glean from this playoff game. We're going to see a playoff opponent, a playoff caliber team in the playoffs, and we're really going to see when Coach Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon and the team, when they're really faced with some stiff competition, how they're going to react. Like, as long as they just don't go out there and get embarrassed. It's win.
And I'll say this: even though I don't feel good about the Eagles' chances, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying, listen, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that they're here to begin with. I don't think they're going to get blown out by any means. I think it would be a competitive game, whoever they face in the first round.
I think it should be competitive. And also, I'm sure you noticed this, but in the second half of games, these past 7 or 8 games, the opposing defense in the second half is usually, and especially by the fourth quarter, seems real gassed from chasing the Eagles around the whole game with them running the ball and how athletic their offensive line is. If the right conditions present themselves, they have the offensive line and the running game. If this game's close in the second half, they can lean on that. And the other team, I don't care who it is, Tampa Bay, the Rams, they're going to get, whoever it is, Dallas, they're going to get tired.
Yeah, you could be right. The biggest concern that I have with all of this is the last couple of weeks, like you mentioned, the second half has been great for the Eagles, but they've been down 10-0 a couple times, right?
Right.
I'm afraid, I'll use the word afraid, if you're down 10-0 to the Bucs in the first quarter, I don't think the Bucs all of a sudden only score 10 points the rest of the game, or less than 10 points like Washington. You know what I mean? I think Tampa could then continue to keep their foot on the gas pedal. So you can't have one of these slow starts you've been having in recent weeks. You were 3-3 against the Giants. Yeah, you put up 34. You won 34-10, but that was against Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon.
Right. If they can somehow keep it manageable, or even tie, or even in the lead by halftime, I really, really like their odds.
I agree with you. Yep.
And real quick, and Jalen Hurts he's a rare Pokemon. Okay, Tunis. The more it seems like the more you beat him up and rough him up and shake him up and put his back to the wall, the better he gets. So I really want to see some design more. It's the playoffs. I want more design run plays and just really let him get his feet wet. And I think in the second half he'll take care of it.
You're the first person to compare a player to a Pokemon, I think, in my life.
He's a rare Pokemon, yeah, one of the rarest.
That's awesome, Dan. I appreciate the call, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Pokemon comparison, Connor. Actually, second time, because literally somebody earlier this week, my man Lenny, and if you can, in the holiday season, just check out my pinned tweet on my Twitter account at ASalTunis975. That's who I'm talking about. There was a lineman for, I think, Kentucky, an offensive lineman that declared to go to the draft. And were you a Pokemon guy at all?
Love Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah, has like all the games.
You know what Blastoise looks like?
Of course I do. The big turtle with the shell.
Yes, he responded to the player's photo that he tweeted with a photo of Blastoise because the Kentucky jerseys are all blue.
Yeah.
And he was like,
just huge
6'8", gigantic guy. He said, look, he looks like a Pokemon. So that's actually the second time.
Nice.
In my life, and it happened in a matter of days, that somebody compared a player to a Pokemon.
That's good. Pokemon are hot in the streets these days, I guess. Making a comeback?
It's funny. I think about this often. You and I are younger here at the station. And, God willing, you and I are still at the station 10, 20 years from now, It's going to be totally different how we talk to people. Like, there's probably somebody 20 years older than me. You and I are 27. I'm 28 now. There's probably somebody in their late 40s, early 50s that are going, really? Comparing a player to a Pokemon? But I guarantee you there are other people our age that are like, oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, the other day, Tom Alvor and I were talking Warzone on the air for 5 seconds. And I guarantee you there was somebody that was like, oh, these kids.
The hell's Warzone?
But like 20 years from now, I'll still be talking Warzone probably, or some sort of Call of Duty.
Right. Well, Mike and Tyrone and Jen talk Seinfeld all the time. Like, Seinfeld is an aged program at this point. I'm watching it for the first time on Netflix right now, and it holds up.
It's great.
But it's an aged reference. That's like 80s, 90s. We're in 2022 at this point.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because that was really coming out, too, like when they were going on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and hey, if it's good, it just sticks with you forever.
Speaking of Seinfeld, you would understand this now that you're watching it. Now, I've never seen start to finish, but I'm one of those guys that I've probably seen every episode because my dad
jumbled up.
Yeah, my dad watched it all the time when I was a kid. Some guy named Andy tweeted this out New Year's Day. Seinfeld today.
Oh, I saw this.
Elaine spends 6 hours in a testing line. Jerry finds his new girlfriend less attractive with a mask off. George attends an anti-vax rally so he can get super immunity, and Kramer hoards rapid tests. It's literally
It's spot on.
It's a perfect tweet. No matter how you feel about vaccines, COVID, you name it, that tweet is spot on. when it comes to Seinfeld if it were happening today with COVID.
Yeah, I can see it. I've got super immunity, Jerry. Super immunity.
Like, I could see that. Now, it's going to be fascinating and I'll get to Roger's call in a second, how TV's been implementing COVID more into their shows. And I'm watching the new season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And they use it to their advantage from a comedic outlook. Have you watched Always Sunny?
I know about the episode, how they do like the Forrest Gump style, like they pop in at different parts of like the pandemic, stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's the first episode of the season, but they've continued. Like it's like,
okay, cool. I haven't seen any.
They're still making COVID jokes as the season goes on, right? So it will be interesting to see as other shows that are making new episodes how they implement COVID, because some just ignored it and like, they're not going to change their style of show. But I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think it's a pretty funny show. It's one of those like it's on in the background. Their latest season.
Andy Samberg's a very funny guy.
Yeah, their latest season had some COVID, but it was only the first episode they had COVID stuff. Like they were wearing masks in the first episode, and that was it. Right? Like that was their reference. To
Almost
COVID.
like you got to mention it and then we're just moving on.
Whereas Always Sunny, every episode they're making COVID jokes. Right? So that would be fascinating if Seinfeld were to come out today, how they would handle it.
That or like The Office too. It's very cool to think about these old shows that were so good with topical humor, how they would attack issues currently going on.
like movies. Can you really do a COVID movie that's not like a serious movie?
Well, movies are rarely topical.
Right.
Like movies are standalone stories that don't always connect with like the everyday world. And if they are everyday world, they're normally documentaries which are about what's exactly happening.
Right.
So,
I just wonder if you could try to
a little different.
Try to work it somehow. Anyways, just so you guys know, Michael Gallup torn ACL, so he is done for the season for the Dallas Cowboys, which is a huge weapon for them. I don't root for injuries, but just so you know, if the Eagles were to face the Dallas Cowboys, they would be without Michael Gallup. They're obviously going to be without him this Saturday in Week 18.
He's also a huge name in the free agent market coming up.
Yeah.
Someone I would have loved the Eagles to go after.
Still could. Cheap deal.
Exactly.
1-year deal, but the only problem is that it happens so late in the season. He wouldn't. You would have to sign it to like a 2-year deal.
It might not be a bad risk to take if you're the Philadelphia Eagles needing a more proven wide receiver to put with Devontae Smith.
I'm sure you would
very cheap.
You would be in the good graces of Michael Gallup if you were to sign him to a 2-year deal, cheap, but you're paying him to literally not play the first year.
He's young. He's only 25, so he has more years ahead of him.
Yeah, but you'd be. If I was Michael Gallup, I'd be like, oh, thanks for signing me to a 2-year deal. You're basically paying me for a year for me to not play. He'll come back at some point.
We'll see. Cam Akers for the
that's true.
Came back from a torn Achilles in 5 months.
Yeah,
who knows?
Which is just ridiculous. Oh, I was about to go to Roger, but he dropped off.
Roger.
So that's fascinating to think about. You're right, because he is a guy that a lot of people were high on. Now, he was going to get a lot of money before the injury happened, so that's something to pay attention to. I would still love to sign a free agent wide receiver, a veteran free agent wide receiver.
I think they should. I mean, the draft is like Devontae Smith, for all of his talent. I don't love him being the veteran of that room next year.
No. I want him to be the number one, but like to me, I want a legit slot receiver, a guy that 3rd and 6, he's going to be sitting somewhere for a first down. Like yesterday, there was a play that I don't understand it sometimes. And Mark Schlareth was saying, Jalen Hurts didn't get the ball out quick enough. Quez Watkins, it was a 3rd and 6, and he ran 4 yards. Like, listen, I get it. It happens all the time. And you can catch the ball and run. And if the ball got there sooner, he would have been able to turn in time and gotten the first down. But get to the stick, man.
Right. Yeah.
It was just the old button hook,
Listen, I'm with you.
It was a nice little curl route. Get to the stick, man.
Yeah, and for the people who want to maybe spend another pick because they have so much draft capital,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, your last 3 wide receivers drafted, sure, Devontae Smith, but your other high drafted wide receivers are still JJ and Rager.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want a veteran, like a veteran wide receiver that I could trust that can play the slot for you. I'm cool with Devontae and Quez. Quez being the burner on the outside. Totally cool with it. But obviously you can't trust Jalen Rager. We found that out.
Yeah, and the most proven guy, the most veteran guy in that room right now is Greg Ward. who's been in the league for like 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you need somebody who's been around the block.
Right, and he made a couple of nice plays yesterday, but
he did.
I could move on from Greg Ward and not lose a minute of sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's go to Glenn on the cell. Glenn, you're on the Fanatic.
Merry New Year, gentlemen.
Hey, Glenn, what's up, man?
Hey, guys, I'm just going to be very quick. I want to shift gears for a second, but as far as the Eagles, I'm the kid that has been eating at the kiddie table, and I finally got let at the grown-up table. I'm just happy to be at the table. I'm not going to be devastated because I'm eating. I'm good. So whatever happens with the Eagles from here on, I'm not going to have my heart broken. I'm good. I'm not going to be happy, but I'm good. So with that, I want to say this. I still believe that Joel Embiid, when he's down low, has to develop a go-to move. He keeps getting stripped by the smaller guys. He's awesome. I'm not angry at the perimeter play anymore. I get it. But if you're going to go down low, you got to have a move you can go to. But like I say, he always seems to get stripped, or he's falling down, or he's stumbling. And I'll let you go because I know you guys are out of time.
All right, thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it. He dropped the mic on Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
Joel Embiid can improve his game.
Absolutely.
Joel Embiid's also like the least of my worries right now.
Yes.
He's giving me 40 a night almost. Like, he's right. He can improve his game down low. Bob Cooney, you're man in the morning.
Says it all the time. The low post power game is just like he doesn't really have it to the level that he should being his size.
But he'll also drop 36 for you without it.
Exactly.
And then you lose because it's the players around you that aren't that great sometimes. And yeah, maybe he comes up small in the closing seconds. You're only in the game because of the 36 points that he dropped.
I don't care if he gets me 36 shooting granny style from half court. Like, if he's putting up 36,
we're golden.
We're fine.
Yeah.
It's on the other guys.
So Glenn's right. He's right. Joel Embiid can get better. Which is scary, right? To think about that Joel Embiid could improve his game. And I think that he will only continue to get better. By the way, Teron Davenport, who used to cover the Eagles, is now covering the Tennessee Titans for ESPN. Mike Vrabel said that Derrick Henry is doing some work today, and they've discussed opening the window for him to return. You talk about coming back from the torn Achilles injury for Cam Akers. Now this was a broken foot, but they thought he's done for the season.
Yeah.
Regular season. He might come back. Decision's going to likely come midweek. So Derrick Henry could return.
Now he's on IR, so they'd have to activate the practice window for him first, right?
Yes, they would have to do that.
Does that carry? But that would carry over into the playoffs. Obviously, there's no like weird roster.
No, I mean you could do it. You could do it today.
Yeah,
he would. I think if you did it today, he would still be available for Week 18. You wouldn't play him, obviously.
No,
but save him for
because they've already clinched the division, right?
Yeah, and they're currently the number 1 seed, so they could even have the bye week.
Right. No, I was just thinking if they needed the number 1 seed, if that's that important to them, do they rush him back for that?
Right. And, obviously it's important to anyone, but I would rather play my cards because you are also thinking about next year. Because Derek, he's their offense.
Yeah.
He is their offense. So
there's a lot of tight butts in the AFC right now, though, reading that, hearing that from out of Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, so the Titans, let's say the Chiefs do surpass them because they both have 11-5 record. Let's say the Chiefs surpass them. Titans are the 2 seed, and they're playing the Chargers in round 1. The Chargers go from not facing Derrick Henry to, oh damn, we might face Derrick Henry in round 1 of the playoffs. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with Derrick Henry. Coming up next, as I mentioned, it will be Hunter Brody. He is on from 2 until 6, filling in for the Mike Missinelli Show. I just saw that he tweeted Jason Avant will also join the show at 5:30. So Brian Westbrook joining Hunter today at 4. Jason Avant coming up at 5:30. I love Jason. Jason is a very smart football guy. I had him on a lot with Anthony before he got hired by the Eagles. Obviously, he was doing pregame shows with us on the Fanatic, and I kind of pushed to get him on here. He's a very smart football mind, so that's something to definitely tune into.
You want to see what he's doing now? We got a couple minutes. Just sneak him in real quick.
Yeah,
steal him from Hunter.
I'm gonna go. Hey, Jason, screw Hunter and come on with me today. My mom has checked in.
Uh-oh. How we doing?
There's a ton of snow down the shore.
Oh, that's right. They're down the shore. I was thinking just South Jersey. Yeah.
Because they got the winter storm warning yesterday.
They got like 8 to 10 inches, right?
Yeah, her car is totally covered. Their porch, there's like a little awning over the porch. The snow is completely gone underneath, and there is a lot of snow down the shore. So if you're living in one of the shore points, make sure you be careful on the roads today. We're fine.
Yeah.
We got nothing. It was weird. I came in for postgame yesterday, sweatshirt and sweatpants, like warm.
Right. And now it's just like.
Well, when I walked out last night, I was freezing. What the hell?
It dropped 20 degrees in like 2 hours.
It was crazy. By the way, before I get out of here, you're a man of superstition.
Of course.
We've talked about this
baseball
before.
player.
I busted it back out yesterday.
Oh, no.
The Eagles hoodie. Now, remember, this is the hoodie that I wore throughout the 2017 season. My wife washed the hoodie. I hadn't washed it all season. Carson tears his ACL.
No.
So I did what every reasonable person would do. I wore it to the gym every day that week and didn't wash it afterward, and wore it during I had to dirty it back up. Yesterday, I thought after they won the Super Bowl, the magic kind of went away. When they were down 10-0, I went to the drawer.
Switched to the hoodie?
And I put this on, wore it during the game, took it off for post game, put it back on today. I had to celebrate it.
Hey, if it works, it's not dumb.
So I'm wearing it this Sunday. Well, no, I shouldn't wear it this Saturday. I shouldn't overuse the magic. Anyways, Hunter Brody coming your way next. Connor Thomas, great job today. Everyone have a great day. Anthony will be back tomorrow.